Oh,
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Finish your story. This is a good story. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a good
when my
story.
agents, when my players became agents of the circle,
Hmm.
If you're one of
as
Sphinx's
part of
characters, don't.
as no, it's not. It's, yeah.
Well,
To all my players, if you listen to this, no, you didn't. Uh, when they received their badges, they unbeknownst to them, they get a clone spell placed on them.
yes.
It's only a one use. But here's the kicker, and this would have. I mean, they can hear this because it's not in effect now because the agency has been destroyed. Uh, However, and we're on the last season anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Uh, but up until this point, had they all been killed, they would have resurrected in the hold of one of the most feared gangsters in Eberron, House Tarkanan, not Tarkanan. No, it is House Tarkanan,
Hmm.
which is the aberrant. Oh boy,
Aberrant
why am I
Dragonmark?
blanking? The aberrant Dragonmark House,
Yep.
and they would have to perform a trial or do a favor for Lady Tarkanan before they'd be set free to go about their business.
Oof.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to catch that amazing story, I do believe that it's going to be. Is it this Friday or next Friday?
It's this Friday.
It's this Friday over on our sister network, ADH Adventures, where you can
Oh
find
yeah.
this amazing man running his people through that game, and that man is Sphinx Akasha. Hey, Sphinx, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you doing, Ray?
I am doing good, actually. I'm nice and relaxed now. Why are you holding a gun on me?
Because you put us through the fucking ringer last night.
Oh yeah, that's right. You
Ooh.
did.
Yeah.
Oh, are
Once
you coming
again,
for his knees again?
Yeah.
name
I'm
of,
not the
Well,
only
House,
one.
in the name of House Atreides and House Emrys, Canley, full
so
vendetta.
look, it's a game, folks. We play it for the drama, and you guys got the drama. I
We
think
did.
Milagro spent the last hour of the game crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are good sessions.
Just losing my shit. It was so good.
I got to pull the good old how can I betray them and make it be like this whole big thing where you should have seen it coming. You should have seen it coming, but yeah, it's here now.
Played on Emrys's compassion. You,
Mhm.
you you played it. You played him like a damn fiddle.
Mhm. Hey, that guy can act. Bye, kitty.
Like, I got
Uh,
kitten
he,
things to do.
he's mad that I won't let him go and eat his older sibling's food.
Rude.
Cruel father, cruel.
Yeah,
speaking
yeah. So
speaking
you've
of
got your
people
own food right there.
speaking of people who are treated cruelly, Milagros, how you doing?
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
I'm great.
You
I didn't
great?
sleep at all last night.
You didn't?
I know. I don't know if that's because like Mercury was in the microwave or because I was fucking wired after the game or what. So
Man, I slept like a baby.
yeah, of course you did.
I'm sure you did.
Of course
I'm
you
sure
did.
you
You
did.
stole my sleep. Actually, you were stealing my sleep while you were sleeping.
I felt like I was wrapped in a warm blanket made of salty tears.
Mm. Kidnapped
Not,
Emrys and Penny. Made Pandora think that they might be dead.
yeah. Feels great. Feels great.
Terrible.
Other than
Emerald
that,
Sanctums, folks, Tuesday nights. Go
yeah,
ahead.
Tuesday nights, come watch us get tormented.
Spoiler: we're okay. We wound up getting out and
Yeah.
and getting free. We're fine now.
Yeah. Now
However,
we're gonna fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, I kill everyone.
murder everyone. The
Man,
Merlin
now
is
you're
coming.
leading a great hunt.
Yeah.
Called together an
Oh my
entire
God.
sept of werewolves to hunt down your enemies.
Yes. Okay.
And who knows
It's about
who knows
time.
exactly what the mages are gonna do, but the werewolves, they know what they're doing.
We're gonna eat
Oh,
some
yeah.
people.
You don't eat people, that's bad. But you do tear
We're
them into
gonna
little bitty
bite some
pieces.
people in half.
Rip people apart.
Yes, we're gonna put some people in the blender. Yeah. Other than that, I'm doing great. Day 2 of my new job went really well.
Yay.
I like it. I like it a lot. Very tired, but it's okay because I'm gonna sleep very hard after this, and also I get to work from home tomorrow, so I don't have to
Yay.
get up like an extra 90 minutes early to commute. So that'll be nice.
From what I understand, in New
Um,
York, 90 minutes is a really good commute.
It is, yeah, and I'm coming in from out of state, so I'm coming in from Jersey City.
Yep.
Pluto and Saturn are in retrograde.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I looked it up.
Oh my god!
So
They
no more
need to
sleep.
stop.
Interesting
Pluto and
pairing.
Saturn are in the Gatorade, and
The
I
Gatorade.
couldn't sleep.
Oh, wow.
The
Gatorade.
But if
They were-
Pluto's on the loose, then where's Mickey, and why isn't he keeping track of him?
Different Pluto.
Wow.
different
When
Pluto.
has Pluto ever kept track of him? Or when has Mickey ever kept track of Pluto?
That's true. Pluto's always
Why
running
is
off.
why is Pluto a
Pluto is a
dog
force
and
in
Goofy's
nature.
also a dog, but he's like a person dog? That never sat right with me.
No.
Because he's
No,
goofy.
dude.
He's a person.
But he's
Well,
also
why
a
is it
dog.
Pluto?
Why is Pluto a dog?
Yeah,
I
how
don't
Pluto's
are we-
like
pet
that.
and
how are
Goofy's
we-
stray.
Because Pluto is bestest dog.
I heard that, Liz.
I know.
What was
I
that?
heard that.
What was that? I didn't hear it.
Don't.
I said Pluto's a pet and Goofy's a stray.
Oh.
I don't like that. That makes me very.
Don't like that.
That makes me a little itchy.
Speaking
Makes me a
of-
little itchy.
Speaking of suffering, I will be playing our long-suffering paladin, Utopia Astro Call, whose entire fucking family got exploded. And she's got her newfound family, but
Well, I was gonna say,
You know.
suffering. You're rich. You were rich.
I mean, you're.
okay. Here's the thing: she's one of those characters where like there's not trauma in the backstory, and then the story starts, and like their entire life gets ruined.
Yeah, but you have
Fair.
a healthy, stable relationship.
She does
That's
have a healthy,
true.
stable relationship, and she's about to go on a field trip with that healthy, stable girlfriend to a brothel. She's never been to a brothel and had previously only gambled on marbles, but she won
The
she
greatest
won her
story ever
bet.
told on this stream. I have it.
She-
I have it saved
Marbles.
in 2 fucking clips. I have it saved in 2 fucking clips, and I
Marbles.
constantly use it to promo the show as like
I watch it every time it pops up. I'm like,
I love it.
Don't you
I
want to
love
know
it so
what the
much.
fuck is
And,
going on?
usually the promo goes something like, "And these are the people who are trying to save the world."
Yes.
Yeah.
So she won her first non-marble related bet, and she's about to go to a brothel with her girlfriend and her friends to celebrate, including her adopted dad, who was also babysitting everyone at the brothel.
I do not need babysitting.
What?
You do have an unwanted chaperone, though,
Yes, you do.
You do.
who may or may not end up getting redacted.
Hey, he's the one who he's the one who knew how to get to the brothel.
that is true. He's our
You,
ride.
wait, no. You think that no one would tell the hot, buff cat girl covered in blood, hey, where's the brothel if she asked anyone?
That's very
You
fair.
think no one would answer her?
Did you guys see the?
I mean,
Did you guys get a chance to see what the promo for the show tonight was on any of the socials?
I was
No,
asleep until,
I
like, 5
disconnected
minutes
today,
before.
so I have not even
That's
been
okay.
on TikTok.
I just gotta read it to you real
Oh,
fast.
God.
Come on, roll.
Oh, good.
roll,
Let's
roll,
go.
roll. Because I wrote it in. I was inspired by the one we did for last night for Emerald Sanctums. So I wrote something
Cracked
similar.
out werewolf, a felon, and a dragon dog.
Yeah. So join us for Kingdoms of Mist, our D&D homebrew actual play on Twitch. A sheltered noble, an adopted fantasy daddy, a barbarian cat girl, a wood elf raised underground, and a murderous rogue with mommy issues. That's who's saving the world.
Yeah! I trust them.
I trust them
I-
wholeheartedly.
I
Nothing
trust
could go
them.
wrong.
100%.
Oh, no,
They've
no,
never
no.
done anything.
It's like when you go to the shelter, you always got to get the one that's just a little bit fucked up.
Just a little bit. It's a little bit.
Oh, it's a little guy. Oh, he's fucked up. I'll take him.
You mean he's blind? Perfect. I want him. I'm gonna name him
He's blind.
Stitch.
He's 9 million years old. He only has 3 legs and arthritis in one knee. I love this baby.
Only in one knee.
Only in
Iconic.
one
I'll
knee.
take him.
Only in one knee.
No,
But
that's my
it's
boss's
the one good
cat.
leg out. It's the one left leg out of the pair that guy's one leg missing.
Oh my god.
Cassie,
Yeah.
how are you doing? Speaking of elves that are raised underground, which
Yeah,
doesn't,
I'm pretty.
which doesn't
I'm
really
pretty
work
shiny.
that well.
I'm pretty shiny. It's fine. It's like a science experiment. You know, we'll see what happens.
And it did grow lots of fungus.
It grew a lot of fungus, and it spreads that fungus. There's spores. It's a whole ecosystem now.
Excellent.
Clean out from under your bed, people. Just do it.
Because there's an elf living down there, and they're making spores.
I'm gonna reenact The Last of Us. Let's go.
Oh, that's bad.
Oh, that translated differently in my head. It's like there's an elf down there, and they're making, when you said spores, for whatever reason, my head translated that as s'mores.
S'mores.
Also,
It's like, I might
probably.
enjoy that. I might enjoy an elf under my
So-
bed making s'mores. That
It's
might
The
be
Last
cool.
of Us, but with
I mean,
marshmallows.
I've had some sweet fungus soup, which sounds disgusting, but was actually really good.
I never even heard of sweet fungus soup, so I'll just sit here and be stunned for a minute, and we'll
Neither.
move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Liz, how are you
Hi.
doing?
I'm good.
Good, excellent.
Yeah, you are.
You're good. You're good, but in a very bad way.
The best kind of way.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, you are the specific buff cat, sexy cat girl covered in blood,
Yes, yes, I am.
and your current suitor is the one who's taking you guys to the brothel tonight, correct?
Yes, yes, he's also the one that may get eaten by our mimic. We're not entirely sure yet.
We're
I'm
not-
seriously picturing him like one of those little sucker fish on the side of like a nursery shark.
Because he's basically been wrapped around Lex in a very disturbing way this entire time.
That's why I
Yeah.
got the visual.
Yes,
I'm picturing the mimic just turning into one of the likes from Zelda and just.
yes.
I thought it was more like Kirby.
Yes.
Which
I mean,
would be
that was
horribly,
true.
which would be horribly bad because then he'd eat the poor gnome and then start acting like him.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, technically, the mimic is also wrapped around Lex at this time.
Yes.
So
You're wearing Boo as a bag.
no,
Oh no,
Boo
no,
is a
no!
sash right now.
He's a
a
sash right
sash.
now. That's right. A very
Mhm.
long
And the
sash.
stash already tried to eat him in public.
Eat our.
Well,
eat our
because
tour guide once.
someone, not mentioning him names, but he bailed on us tonight, Sam, was telling the mimic this entire time that he could eat him. So Boo has just been patiently waiting to be given the green light to basically eat the little guy.
And then he told Lex, and Lex was like, "I bet."
Lex is like, he's really creeping me out, so okay.
He's got to go.
Meanwhile, the
That is
player
bad.
is like, "Do I really want to do this?"
I mean, this is more effective than pepper spray.
He will, in fact, never do this to another person.
That's very
That-
true.
for a
You
very
will not
specific
have the
reason.
chance.
We are potentially stopping crimes.
There we go. That's how we're gonna look at this.
Yes.
There you go.
It's the right thing to do.
It's the right thing to do.
Don't you agree, Naga? Don't you agree?
Naga,
I
I'm
If
just
we-
always-
if we all get arrested, just let Fantasy Daddy talk.
Wait,
Just let
but
Fantasy
there's no
Daddy
I mean,
evidence.
I'll
talk.
let Fantasy Daddy talk anytime he wants.
I mean, there is also that. There is also that.
There's no evidence. It'll be fine.
there's no evidence.
Yeah,
to find.
yeah.
Yeah, we can't be accused of a murder if there's not a
Burps and,
body.
like a bone pops out.
No body, no
Put it
crime.
back. Put it back.
Nobody no crime. Yeah.
So tonight we are. This is well. Number one, I totally forgot. We're doing a game. So hi. We were just busy telling stories
Saturday is going to be
and
both.
chit chatting before the game started. So a couple of quick things, housekeeping type stuff. Dinner and a Game is once again back in the affiliate program on Twitch. The main reason that we came back to the affiliate program is it is very difficult to get people to do things like go to separate websites to subscribe to your Patreon in order to support you. No one really likes doing that. And so our attempt to become independent of Twitch's constraints fell flat on its face, to be honest. We had like we were averaging about 30 subs on Twitch, and now we on Patreon we had 4. And I think 2 of them were out of Cassie's house. So
I mean,
I
like playing games.
Yeah. So hey Jack. So we got basically a situation where we were coming back to the affiliate program because it is one of the ways that's easiest to promote the show, one of the ways the easiest to get funding for the show, because Dinner and a Game is going to Gen Con. Now, that means that we're going to be going to Gen Con this year mainly to do some networking and get some connections, and we're still going to try and build out our network a little bit, because we are getting ready to launch Material Components, which is our site that's going to be selling gaming related materials, and you guys are going to be getting a lot of those. I ordered a bunch of the shirts and stuff like that from Dinner and a Game. Ooh. And that's coming in. They finally sent the notification that the giant crate of Doom is shipping. So if it gets here soon enough, then I'm going to go ahead and mail them out, but if it doesn't, then we're going to I'll wait till we get a Gen Con and we can distribute them all out there. But we got all the stuff coming in for Dinner and a Game, but Material Components is also going to be doing things like 3D terrain. We're doing 3D terrain. We're building a print farm right now. We just moved into a new place. So we're building our first primary print farm, which is going to be basically about 20 3D printers that are going to be all running and printing out 3D terrain and other like dice towers and stuff like that. We are currently licensing out designs right now from different creators, and we're going to be building up a stock and an inventory, and then we're going to start selling it to the public. The biggest thing is that with all that, we're doing this for 2 specific purposes. Number 1, doing our best to give back to the community by creating quality products that are affordable to buy and that you guys can really utilize and enjoy. And number 2, the other big thing is we are doing our best to build out a company, and that is the main endeavor for is to set things up for us to be able to provide our found family with ways that they can possibly, if they want to, come work with Dinner and a Game, at least on a part-time basis, so we can afford to pay them. Like paying our players to actually be on stream.
I can't wrap my head around that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, getting paid to play games is amazing.
I'm here strictly for the suffering, I promise.
That'd be legit.
I mean, that tracks.
Oh, Milagros gets cut the first check, and they're like, okay, but I made Utopia's backstory even worse.
Yeah, I feel like that's.
And now you can pay for the therapy you're gonna need because of the suffering.
Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. 100%.
So the big steps we're doing right now is we're trying to get funding for that. The Gen Con trip is one thing because we're going to be networking with some game companies that we talked to last year and that they were interested in some of the products we're going to provide. So we're looking at actually producing products for other companies as well. The other big thing about what we're doing right now is we are trying to build up some extra fundage because we have to launch the Material Components website by this November. And so in order to do that, if you've ever built a store website, if you've ever had a store website built for you, it's expensive as shit. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be doing that, and we've literally I've already got a product line of 80 products for just the 3D printed terrain. So that is going to be, because we're doing them in kits, of course. And so that's going to be something that's going to be a lot of different individual pages, which is what costs a ton of money. So we're going to be doing that and building that out, but be looking here because we're going to also start doing giveaways of Material Component products here on Dinner and a Game. But one of the things we're going to be trying to do right here on the stream is trying to build out our subscriber base again. In order to do that, we are going to have a contest. Now, the contest does not require you to be a subscriber or even a follower of Dinner and a Game. The contest is going to be another giveaway. Basically, if we hit 30 subscribers, we're going to do one giveaway, and if we can hit 50 subscribers, we're going to have a second level giveaway. And we want to do this basically by the end of July. So basically in time for Gen Con, we want to have that number achieved. And if we can do that, we're going to do 2 different giveaways. The first giveaway we're going to be doing is probably going to be based something off of, it's going to be based off of 5th edition, but I don't think we're going to give away the core books anymore. I think we're going to look at some supplements from other games and other game companies. And I'm already talking to Kobold Press about trying to possibly get some copies, and they're sold out right now, but I know they're in print. They're getting another print run done of Tome of Beasts. Now, if you guys have ever heard of Tome of Beasts, it is a freaking enormous, monstrous monster manual that has custom monsters in it, made by Kobold Press, and this is a great replacement for the standard D&D core monster manual because, number one, it's not made by Wizards of the Coast, so you're not giving Wizards of the Coast any money, and number two, it is got more monsters in it than the Monstrous Manual and almost all the supplements combined, and it's in one book. So
Here for that.
this is something that we're going to try and do, build this out, and then once we get, but like I said, that's going to be the first giveaway, so that's going to win for when we hit 30 subscribers. Now, like I said, you're not going to have to follow us even to enter the contest. If you follow us, you're automatically entered. If you subscribe, you're going to get an additional 5 entries for being a subscriber. But if you just want to enter the contest and you don't like Twitch, because a lot of people don't anymore, and you don't want to follow us and you don't want to subscribe, number one, you can still enter. We're going to be putting up a email address, contact@dinnerandagame.net, and you can send us your contact information there and that you're entering the contest, and you will get an entry just as a follower would for the website. Okay, so all that is set up so where, because we already know Twitch is having lots of issues, and they're basically pulling a Wizards of the Coast. They're screwing over the people that actually make their products. So we're doing our best to try and look at things from a different angle. And like I said, if Twitch wasn't already such an ingrained part of this industry and of this community, we would be able to step away from it. And we have looked at Kick too. So but there's just not. It's not a lot of people there either. So we need to make sure that we do the best thing we can for our stream, for our community. And this is what we're going to try and do for that. I haven't decided what I'm going to do if we get to 50 subscribers, because that's a hell of a ton of subscribers. But it's going to be something epic, and it's going to be something along the same lines of, another product from another third-party publisher, either Kobold Press or something else. And so just keep an eye on that. And if you want to help us decide, jump into our Discord, which is going to be put up in chat in just a second. And if you want to, we're going to start up a channel on Discord. Here, I'll just put up our link tree.
If you get in the Discord, I will quote Brenda Lee Mulligan on this. If you're in Discord, get in the comments.
Yeah.
Get in the comments.
And basically what we're going to be doing on the Discord is I'm going to start a channel for giveaway suggestions, and we're going to start doing more giveaways on a regular basis. We were doing giveaways. I was doing a horrible job of managing them. I still haven't gotten everything out to everybody, and I really apologize to everyone who won in the previous pass, but I do have those lists made up. Yes, I know. You know what? I didn't even take it to you at Gen Con. That's how bad I am. I have seen you in person, and I still didn't bring you your shit. I've seen Milagros in person, and I still didn't bring Milagros her shit. The only person I really... You know what? This is how much of a crush I have on him. The only person whose shit I brought was Admiral's.
Yep.
That's true.
So that's it. Yeah. So that was the only person I brought.
He is a stunning man.
Absolutely. I got a thing for gingers.
Well, he's hard to ignore. He's very loud.
Yeah.
We're gonna be roomies at Gen Con. I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're not a light sleeper, are you?
Oh my god! No, I'm not.
Good.
And for those of you who don't know, most everyone here is going to Gen Con, I think Lissa, you're not gonna be able to go, right?
No, I gotta talk to Sam and M. I don't think I can. I don't think I can take that kind of time off.
Okay.
Because I'd be gone for like a full week.
Yeah, because the drive out there. Well, your drive is not too bad from where you guys are located, roughly, but it's
Well,
still.
I'm above them, so it's going down, driving.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's still like I'm gonna be off work. I literally go to work on Monday. I put in a half day on Tuesday, and we start driving Tuesday evening. And we're going to be getting into Indianapolis on Wednesday afternoon and getting checked in and settled for the rest of Wednesday, and hopefully finding as many of you fuckers there who are there on Wednesday. Milagros, I know you're starting a new job, and you said you're moving that week.
I'm possibly moving. Don't
Jeez.
have the lease yet. Fingers crossed that we get accepted into the apartment. But my aunt and uncle are moving out August 1st, and if they leave August 1st, we're moving right in because my sister starts school at the end of August. So
No, I got it.
Yeah, gotta get in and
So-
settled. That's fair.
Real life, remember the dinner in the game rule is always the same. Real life comes first. So, gonna miss the shit out of you.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I will be able to plan because this year was a mess. But I'll be able to plan for my sister and I to both go next year because we really want to go.
Excellent, wonderful.
Cool, we get to meet your sister. Yeah.
Yes.
And the other big thing about Dinner in a Game launching out this with our actual companies is the fact that we're going to start being more of a presence at conventions, which does mean one very particular thing. I can't take off that much time from work either. So Dinner in a Game is going to start employing con crews for conventions, where we're going to send them all the products that they need to set up at the conventions and everything like that. And they're going to go and represent Dinner in a Game for us there. So we're trying to do everything we can to actually get into the industry as best we can, but we're also trying to do it as smartly as possible. So, you know, hopefully this will work out and everything will be good. Hello, Admiral. I was just telling everyone about how much I love you.
What up, you stunning bastard, you?
So, one quick thing. Let me see where it is right quick. In celebration of us getting back on the affiliate network, I'm going to do something real fast. Let me go to the live channel. One moment. You might hear some double audio for a second. Double audio for a second.
New name.
Same energy
Same.
as Da Vinci.
What?
the call chat.
I do kind of like. I kind of like it.
It's officially my chibi name. It's my chibi name now.
Oh my god!
It feels like it feels like a Link cosplay for some reason.
Do
Link
it.
Cosplay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
To next
to
year.
celebrate
Yeah.
us rejoining the affiliate network, we just gave away 10 subs. So, if you love us and you want us to be continuing to create amazing stuff for you guys, all you got to do is renew your sub when it comes up. Luckily enough, I even got some people who are currently on stream. Lady Vamp.
Nice.
Let's see.
My tablet is charging, so I
No,
I
it's
don't
okay.
have enough monitor.
I don't have enough monitor. Oh yeah, I'm getting ready because I now own a home, so I can now take things like put my TV on the wall because our landlord wouldn't let us do that before. So I'm going to be putting my big monitor up on the wall and then having 3 more monitors down below it. So it's going to be all techie looking. It's still going to be a mess because it's my dad's.
Dude, I never got the multi-monitor thing until I got 2 monitors.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Worth it.
Now you can't live without
So
it.
worth it.
It changes everything, man.
Mhm.
Yep. So, but all that being said, we're actually here to play D&D, not just to talk a lot.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I forgot 2 other
This is
things.
news.
Sorry. One, we're still sponsored by Many Worlds Taverns. We still have our link for Many World Taverns that you can use to place orders, and Dinner in a Game will get a kickback from that. But also, if you use the code in chat, you will get 10% off your entire order. So you will be able to get a discount. You'll be able to get some quality teas and coffees and other products, because they now have gaming products like Magic the Gathering mats using their original art. And if you ever see their packaging, their art is fucking gorgeous. So if you want to do
I
that,
got one of their mats in, under my keyboard right now.
oh,
Actually,
you
I
do?
just
I was
ordered
thinking about replacing mine with one too. But all that being said, you can get 10% off your entire order from Many Worlds Caverns by using that link and using that code below. And we are getting ready to launch a partnership with Arkenforge. We have just started getting into that, and we have the partnership done out, but we don't have they haven't been able to get us our link yet. They're still building that out. So as soon as that gets taken care of, we are going to be partners with Arkenforge, and we're going to be able to offer, once again, a discount code and a discount link for their products. If you've never used Arkenforge, they literally can make those amazing maps that you see on some other V2 streamers that basically have all the animations and graphics in it. You can create a map that already has that built in and then upload it to your favorite VTT. So don't be afraid to try it out. It's very intuitive. I've been playing with the program
It's
for a
good
few
stuff.
days now, and it really, really works. And Sphinx, I think you're like you're like kind of like an old hat at it now, aren't you? You've had it for a while.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I've been playing with it for a little bit. Yeah, it's got some really cool features. There's some like features where like you can move one of your figures to a spot and it triggers an action on the map to do things like birds flying and the traps going off. It's choice.
That's nice. That is really cool. Because that way, as a GM, you don't have to do anything. You just let them move their character into the trap, and you're like, you didn't see it.
Exactly.
All right, so in the meantime, though, we were playing Kingdoms of Mist, which is a 5e homebrew world that's basically based off of the movie Treasure Planet. Now, also, this game is set in a kind of an alternate version of reality, because the entity known as the Mist Mother, who is a giant as a gas cloud in space, controls the environment within her and doesn't allow the rest of reality to basically blend in. That was until recently, when she was somehow mysteriously shattered into 3 separate parts. Our heroes are trying to find a way to unite her, and thereby saving her and the Kingdoms of Mist themselves, which are being invaded by creatures from all other planes of existence, since the Mist Mother's protections are now down. When we left off, the characters were in Seasky, which is the capital city of Chandenthorn, which is a planet that is mainly populated with gnomes and dwarves, a spattering of other races too. And the High King Dathid of Warren, had greeted the party, as they are well-known heroes now, and had them meet with the members of one, or leaders of one of the other factions coming from the other realms, and they had actually met with the Titania and Oberon, the leaders of the Feywild, and they had negotiated a little deal with them for the Feywild to basically turn traitor and stop allowing troop movements through the Feywild to get them to different access and areas within the Prime Material plane. After that, they kind of went out to, I don't know if you went. Why were you at that bar again?
I think we went to try to make friends.
I think you went to try to steam and relax, because this is the first time. This is the first time in a long time you guys were not actively like running from something, fighting something, or trying to save someone,
or getting our ship exploded.
Or getting your ship exploded, or having a
or
planet,
corralling this group of children,
or corralling a group of children, or being in a city that was being hit by meteors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then being kicked out of the city because we got blamed for it.
We got to
we
eat
were
a
there.
We did.
We
get
finally
to eat a meal.
got to eat a meal.
We got to eat a meal.
Yes, we did.
It only took like 70 sessions.
70
But we
cents.
got to
You
eat
got
a
to
meal.
You would have died from hunger long ago. Oh, my cats are fighting. You would have died from hunger long ago, except that you. Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Admiral Redbeard. I didn't know this. Let me see. Admiral was worried he gave a sub to a bot. I don't think you can give it to a bot, but I will double check.
He tried.
He tried. He didn't try. Oh, he did give it to a bot. Dagbot has a sub.
Dagbot now has a sub.
Dagbot does not need a sub.
Wow.
Not a real person.
That's not a real person. I don't know how to take a sub off. I'll figure it out later, Captain. And I'll
mean,
give. I'll give
Yeah,
someone
that sounds
pick someone
cheaty.
and I'll give them a sub to make up for it, Captain, because I don't know how to get the sub off Dagbot.
That's
it-
so on brand for him.
He gave a sub to a bot. But
I mean, like it's your bot and not like a bot.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Try and swear. Someone type some dirty words in the chat. F that bot. That's that. No, well, you're a moderator, but Mrs. Dagshow, so you can probably cuss. And I think everyone here is a moderator too.
Yeah.
Oh dang! I was gonna pull it up on my phone.
Shitty
Well,
hand.
Admirals came up.
Shitty
It's supposed to be
handbag.
hand. It's just
Kitty
supposed to be
handbag?
handbags.
Okay. All
I
caps
think
is back. Everything is back because I turned off cloud thing and I'm using my RealStream.io chat because number one, I like the way it looks better in chat itself, and number two, it's got much better functionality than CloudBot does. It's much cooler. And if we were going to multi-stream again, I paid for that shit for a year, so it's there.
Now I have titty handbags stuck in my
Titty
head.
handbags.
Thanks.
I am going.
Thanks,
I
Cass.
feel like this is my next crochet project now.
Titty
Titty
handbag.
handbags.
A titty
Did
handbag.
you do crochet projects for Gen Con?
I did. I have a couple of.
Because I still have my bee.
I have a
I
couple
still
of
have my
bees.
bee.
I have
too.
my bee.
I think I have a handful of donuts.
Oh, donuts.
Yeah, the donuts are kind of small. They're only like this big. There's gonna be a couple dinosaurs and some octopuses. Maybe some chickens
Nice.
too.
Maybe some chickens.
Maybe some
Very
chickens.
nice.
Last year when we went to Gen Con, Cassie surprised us all by giving us all crocheted bees. So hello bees.
It's
I
a
like to hand out
lesbian.
gifts at conventions. It's my love language.
It's a lesbian.
No,
I gotta make
eat
more
our bee.
pies,
It's somewhere
yeah.
in it's right here. Here's my bee. I saved the bee from Annie Bell, who's the cat.
Oh,
Aww.
It's got green wings. All right,
My-
it's a straw bee.
straw bee. So
Strawberry.
Lex basically got to this fighting arena and decided that they were going to participate. And she went in, she fought. It was a good fight. She had a really, it was pretty wild. Although Lex tore through her opponent, there was some scenes where he could have done something, but my dice sucked. I mean,
Your
Lex.
dice
Good.
said no, and my dice said yes.
Oh yes, I know. And Lex is a barbarian. She's literally designed to get hit, and I still couldn't hit her. So, but yeah, Lex had an amazing debut in the arena here. Won everyone a lot of money, and then they were going to go celebrate by going to a brothel.
Woo!
Let's go.
So that's where you guys were headed at this point. I think everyone's going, and Sam's character was not going to go, if I remember correctly. He was going to go take care of something else.
Yeah.
No,
he
There's
was
gonna
doing
be
something. He was
he's
going to meet us there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was being a Karen, and he was gonna meet us later.
Yeah, he was
Being a Karen.
Well, he was meeting with the
The dock work or dock
was-
harbor
no,
master.
he'd gone to the dock workers because he fought that first part of the
Yeah,
interrupt.
because he was being a Karen.
Yeah. He was actually no, he was being a titty handbag.
Titty
Titty
handbag.
handbag.
That's what it was. Just being titty handbag.
There we go. Add that to his titles. He's the Abyssal
Titty
of
handbag.
titty handbags.
And the titty handbag. Okay, I'm adding that.
He's not
Oh.
even here, and we're trying to.
This is what happens when he's not here.
This is what happens.
This is
when
what
you're
happens
not
when he
here.
is here.
What happened?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yes, that's also
This
true.
is just generally what happens.
Yeah.
And for those of you who don't know, Sam normally plays Drake, and he's normally here every single show because he's amazing and he loves playing D&D. But he apparently got married on roughly the same day several years ago, and for some reason he's celebrating that.
What?
Yeah, who celebrates
What
things
is
like that?
that?
I
Oh,
do
no.
every year.
Same.
I don't know if I've ever. I don't know if we have.
No.
Admiral, fix that right now, or you're in trouble.
Dude, I barely celebrate my birthday.
I have to celebrate my birthday. I only get a few left.
You.
Your
A
knees only
few.
have a few left, according
Oh
to
yeah,
Blogger.
no,
Your
you're
knees and your
oh,
elbows
oh,
only have
oh,
a few left.
I have a doctor's note. You can't take my knees anymore. I went to the doctor yesterday and my blood pressure was 167 over 98. So I can't do anything strenuous like run for my life. Ha!
That just means it's
Just
gonna be
because you
easier
can't
to
run for your
harvest.
life,
Yeah, that
doesn't
means
mean
you
that
can't
your
run.
knees and your
I
elbows
think-
can't
I
be
think
taken.
that-
It just means you can't run away.
I
It
think
just
that
means
surgery
you're
without anesthetic might be stressful.
Yeah.
Who said anything about
But-
using anesthetic?
That's
You
what
are
I
gonna
said.
Yeah.
Without
There's gonna be
anesthetic.
less
Well, I
strenuous
mean,
activity that you can
We don't have
do.
to. We don't have
Songs
to
and cats.
anesthetize him. We could just club him on the head.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, yeah.
All right.
You're
doesn't have to
unconscious,
be a
but you're not
witness for this.
anesthetized.
Titty handbag has been added to the titles.
Shitty handbag.
Been added to the titles. We celebrate the unpacking when we're done unpacking, baby. We literally have. This is how fucking shitty I am at organizing and moving. I have hired people to come in and organize my house because I am fucking shitty at it.
That's fair.
There's boxes piled up around me in this room.
We're not going to talk about the fact that my C2E2 cosplays are still in their suitcase.
Still in their suitcases. C2E2 was what, 3 months ago? 2 months
Yeah.
ago?
They might stay in there till Gen Con, then I don't have to pack for Gen Con.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you pack for cons. You just never unpack from the
You just
con.
never unpack.
Hey, Rotter. Once again, we are headed to the brothel. Lex, you guys you took a sky car, right?
No, I thought we were walking.
No,
Oh,
you were
you're
walking.
The,
walking.
That's
the
right.
area where we were, sky cars don't go to.
Yeah.
That is
so
true.
You're down in the darkest reaches and depths of the bad side of town. So you guys are walking to the brothel.
We
What was
can't
the
go to
gnome's name?
brothels.
Okay,
Yeah, we can't go to brothels on the
specifically-
bad side of town.
Specifically, we left off with the creep Kinsey saying that we're his first friends allegedly, and then
Oh,
you were
yeah.
like, "I'm calling it
That's
here
right.
because you're awful."
Oh, yeah, that's
'Cause you're
right.
a
Because Kenzie,
bastard.
because you guys actually let slip that
Yeah.
that Boo was gonna eat Kenzie.
Oh, and he's like, yeah, it
And
wouldn't
Kenny
be so
was like,
bad. That's
Okay,
what
I
friends
guess.
are.
I mean, you guys are my only friends.
And this is where the player has the moral conundrum.
The trolley problem.
Yeah.
The trolley problem be a break
Your
from some of the
scarf turns
stuff.
towards you, and the edges of the scarf curl down in a frowny face.
Does it really?
God.
Does Boo feel bad?
Boo feels bad, but then you hear Boo's stomach rumble, so it's probably.
Oh my
just-
God.
Boo hasn't been able to eat people in a while.
Boo got really excited with the prospect of being
Remember
able
when
to
Boo was
eat
gonna
some.
eat those children?
Yes.
Right?
That's right.
And you
Yeah.
stopped him?
And we didn't let Boo
Yes,
eat
we
the
stopped
children.
him from eating the children because they were children.
Yes, 'cause they're children.
Just
Well,
a bunch of
Kinsey is
feral
not a
children.
children, so
That
No,
is true.
Kinsey's a fully grown adult, but now he's making us feel bad because we're apparently his first friends.
And arguably, he does look like a children because
He does look like a children. He is a gnome.
Yeah, he's a gnome.
okay, he needs to do something weird. Lex, make him do something
He's still
weird.
hanging on to Lex's leg, so I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, that's weird.
Is it like full on like Lex takes a step and he's just like clinging?
No.
Damn
this
it.
feels like Mini-Me and Foxy Cleopatra.
Yes,
God,
It
you're
kinda does.
right.
Yeah,
it is.
yeah. It's a good point. Good point.
So you
Who's got the
guys.
spray bottle?
So, and what was the name of the brothel? It was the Red
Red Silk?
Yeah,
Red Sash.
Silk.
Red Sash.
No, it wasn't. It was the Red Silks.
Red Silks? Okay. It's the Red Silks. So you guys are headed to the Red Silks. Kinsey's kind of leading the way. Are you guys going to be discussing anything on the way there?
Val will just like, so have any of you actually been to a brothel before?
Camille's like, I used to work the door at one.
Lex, that question does not apply to you.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
That question doesn't apply to you.
Do
We understand.
Do they have waiting rooms or sitting rooms or?
Some can.
Oh,
They
okay.
usually have
I
a
mean,
bar.
I was gonna say the nice ones usually have a bar and kind of like a. Sometimes they'll have like a bit of a card playing space too. Depends on the brothel.
Oh,
Depends on the brothel. Yeah.
I can
Kinsey
play
turns
cards.
out, I was like, well, this place has got it all. It's high end, I tell you. He says, they got a little gambling parlor off to one side. They got a nice mahogany bar with a brass step rail. They only serve the top end liquors. They have red dust. They have purple dust. He said they have green dust if you're really feeling dangerous. He says, because you know, that can do all kinds of weird shit with regeneration. You might start growing extra limbs. I don't go in for that
Weird.
type. I'm not that hardcore, but you know, I party.
Okay, but extra limbs could be interesting.
Oh, they don't
I'm
technically stick
concerned.
around
Extra,
for a while.
like extra battle axes.
I thought high-end places were clean. This place has a lot of dust.
No, Kelly,
Kinsey
Kelly,
is
remember?
looking at you for a second, and he goes, "She's funny. I like her." Turns around, and starts walking.
No, Kelly, remember the other dust that we have to hide?
No,
Bad dust.
No, I never.
No.
I fucking love her so much. Just that vacant look you had right before. No.
No, I don't know.
There's
No color my face.
Oh my god.
there's good dust and then there's bad dust. This is the bad dust.
You don't want
any.
any of
No,
this
no,
dust.
this is the good dust. It's the premium shit. The bad dust is that shit that's like cut with talc and shit and goes up your nose and gives you a headache. And no, you don't want that. I mean, this dust is
Well,
so
yeah,
refined
talc
you
can
can
be
put it in a
used.
drink and no one would notice you did it. Oh, and he goes running off.
He just admitted to roofing people. We're back on the let's eat him.
We're back on the let's eat 'em.
All right.
We said we were preventing crimes.
We are. Yeah.
Yeah, Val just gets this look on his face and so like,
Wait, does he like
We
run
were
off?
starting?
Run off?
No. He just like he runs up ahead a little bit.
So should I
Starting
start
to feel
collecting the
bad.
dust when we clean places? We don't clean
No.
places. I don't know if
No,
that
no.
really matters.
You know the crystals that power the ship?
Oh yeah, Big Shine Glitter.
Yes. So when you like cut them and stuff, they can create dust. And it does
Yeah.
bad things. So this is bad dust. We don't want this dust.
Okay.
Camille says
You also
it does
shouldn't
bad
inhale
and
rocks.
good things. Let's put it in perspective.
Yeah, bad and good things. So if
don't
anybody
want it to
offers
do
you
the bad
dust,
things.
just say no.
yeah.
Say no to
No
drugs,
to-
kids.
No, God.
Say no to drugs.
It's-
Stay in your vegetables. Eat your school.
Burn down your teachers.
Oh no, we killed Sphinx!
And
You
Sphinx is
killed
gone.
it.
That's the end of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye.
We killed it! Man down!
Fantasy Daddy down! Fantasy Daddy down!
Man down! And he's been censored!
Sphinx is redacted.
Sphinx,
Whatever Sphinx
Sphinx-
is currently doing on the
Sphinx
floor
has
has been
been
censored
redacted.
for your protection.
Sphinx has been redacted!
Oh boy!
And this is how the night's gonna go.
Oh, for sure! Oh,
Happy solstice, everyone.
happy
Happy
solstice!
solstice, y'all!
Just
Holy
because
my
shit!
Pluto and Saturn are in the
Girl, we
microwave doesn't mean we
killed it.
can't celebrate.
Thank you for that,
Say they're in the
Cassie.
microwave.
I almost passed out laughing so hard.
And you have floof on you. So so you guys are walking. You're moving out of the shadier districts. You're coming out onto the edge of what appears to be a theater district. There's more lights here. There's more foot traffic. A lot of the people are dressed like they're out for a night on the town. As you come up, there's more crystals. There's more lamps with crystals in them, spaced closer together here, so there's more light glowing out. And there is several, as you come up, as you kind of like come out of the alley and turn into the street, there you can see several facades of different theaters sticking out. At the very far end of the street, it splits kind of into a Y, and on the corner of the street, there is a large pie-shaped multi-story building, about 4 stories tall, that goes out onto the point and comes out. And at the front stoop, on the inside, there's like a cutoff where there's the 2 doors recessed into the building. So the corner, the bottom floor corner is cut off, but above it, there's still floors going up above that pointed piers. And you can see that from different flag poles, there are red silks hanging down, just kind of like drifting in the breezes. And the building itself is painted like a very dark shade of red. And Kinsey kind of turns around. He's like, "I think where we're going is obvious."
I mean,
He says, "But I will once again state that when Kinsey promises, Kinsey delivers, and this place is going to deliver."
Is there a performance stage?
Ooh, they do shows?
I think so. If they do shows, you're going to have to pay a lot for tickets.
Interesting.
He says, and this place is really, 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 really well known for 2 things. Number 1, always the guest has a good time. Number 2, no one starts shit in there. Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
We're not planning on starting anything.
No.
gonna be
I'm
busy
not
doing
saying
other
you're gonna.
things, so.
I'm just saying no one starts shit in there. I'm saying that to let you understand that a man as experienced and worldly as myself is recommending that you don't start shit in there.
You've started shit in there before, haven't you?
I'm 3 feet tall.
That doesn't
So you're
answer our
saying you have a
question.
death wish.
He looks up at you. He's like, "For you, yes."
This
Every
is going to be an
time-
interesting
Every
night.
time Boo is just like, "Mer?"
Val looks over at Rami and goes, "This is going to get interesting, isn't it?"
Rami says, "If I just heard you correctly, you were thinking about performing in one of the better-known brothels in the city."
True.
And Rami looks at you and raises one eyebrow, and says, "I'm very interested to see that act." And she just walks into the place.
Oh.
We're not sure of what she's expecting.
The 3 have gone blank.
Yeah. There's just in place of Val's face. If this were an anime, in place of Val's face, there would be an exclamation point and a question mark together. It's like, what?
And you'd be bleeding out your nose.
Yes.
Yep.
One eye is an
Yep.
exclamation
Just a
point,
little
one eye is
Easily.
question mark, and there's just a little
There's a
drip.
little trickle of blood. Is she thinking? What is she? Oh boy.
So, you guys are kind of all standing on the street. Kinsey goes walking up the steps to the door, and he holds the door open. He's like, "Are you guys gonna wait out there all night? Your friends are already getting us a head start."
I am so excited to see what goes on in a brothel.
We are so excited for you to see what goes on in the brothel as well. And then Val walks in
Who's
behind.
going to initiate the mushroom child?
I thought that there was already a polycule established.
Yeah, it
Yeah, we don't have time to do shit, Ray. We're always getting blown up.
just
Yeah.
because we're in a relationship doesn't mean we do
It took,
activities together.
Activities together.
it took 70 episodes to get a meal in.
How many episodes did it take for to get your first date in?
Like 50 something.
50 something.
It is, yeah.
was gonna say I was part of the cast by the time that happened.
It's true.
So you guys head in. As you come into the entryway, it is, it fans out from the doorway, of course, because of the design of the building. Inside the entryway, there is a hostess stand, and there is a young woman standing at the hostess stand. And as you come in, Rami's already speaking to her, and Rami's like, "So, can you accommodate us?" And the hostess is like, "Ma'am, we can accommodate just about anything." She says, "But that being said, we do have a live stage. There are performers scheduled tonight. I don't know if we can fit your friend into the lineup. I will have to ask the stage manager." And Rami says, and Rami like literally pulls out a gold piece and slides it across, and the hostess says, "I'm sure this will help the stage manager make up their mind." And says, "But in the meantime, I'm going to take you down to the table we discussed." And Rami says, "Thank you so much." So you go into this building. As you go in, there is a main hallway that goes straight. There is a door to the left of the main hallway and a door to the right of the main hallway. No, not a door. Sorry, there's a staircase to the right of the main hallway. The carpet is like this crushed red velour. It looks gaudy as all fucking hell. All the walls are like red mahogany wood, and they're like, it's just like completely gauche right out of the fucking, with brass trimmings and brass door handles. And
you know what? No, they went brass instead of gold. Actually, that's kind of nice.
That's a little classy.
This is
That's
full
kinda classy.
Moulin
It's a little
Rouge.
classier than going gold. Gold would be
Full
gaudy.
Moulin Rouge is what I'm hearing. Just
Yeah.
The fancy
camp,
shit.
just brothel camp.
brothel
Yeah.
camp. Yep.
Mushroom tile.
That's a new genre for
giant
us.
eyeballs.
Brothel camp.
Yes.
And yes, that's a good time for the disclaimer, chatbot. Remember, all dinner and game shows deal with adult content, mature themes, as well as chaos. So if you're not 18 and up, you're not to be in the audience.
If you're not 18, you're 12. I really recommend leaving right now.
If you're not 18, you're 12.
So as you go into down the main hallway, there is the next room that it opens out to is a long room. Goes on the right hand side of what probably is the outer wall, and it is got a gorgeous mahogany bar that goes down for like about 40 feet along that wall. On the left hand side of the wall, there is a dozen booths along that wall. There's about 20 feet between the booths, which are basically built into the wall, and the bar itself. There are tables spattered throughout here of different sizes. That is what's to the right of there's an archway on the right hand side. To the left hand side, there is a set of heavy double doors. The hostess turns to the double doors and opens them up, and as she opens them up, it opens up into a sunken theater area. You have to go down several stairs, and at the far end, the room opens up. This obviously takes up a lot of this ground floor area, and the room tapers out and opens up into a very large theater-like area. There is a wooden stage that's about 4 feet up. It's got all the little stage lights down in front. There are tables set up around it, and there's an orchestra pit in front of the stage, where there is a band who is currently playing rollicking music as people are sitting down and eating. You notice that there are people of all different kind of walks and social statuses here. There are people there's obvious like dock workers who are here. There is obviously people who are more of aristocracy here. They're all sitting at different tables. There is hostesses walking throughout the room. You see that a lot of them are just acting as waitstaff. They're waiting tables, everything like that. And the hosts and hostesses they're all dressed in very provocatively. Think Vegas showgirls. They have lots of very skimpy but detailed costumes, and they're like their hair is done up in huge hairdos. The males are wearing very bright sequined bodysuits that show off their physiques. Also, the body types that are represented range. And there are people there who you can't tell the gender of that are on staff. And they're basically all different types. You can see there's dwarves, there's humans, there's half orcs, there's there's halflings, there's gnomes, there's every staff. This room has got about 50 tables in it, and there's about 10 different wait staff, and they run the gambit. And so you're sitting there, and you're brought to a big table that's down in front near the far right corner of the stage. It is a circular table with the front edge cut off so that everyone has to sit along the curve, so we have to face the stage. So you have your back to the rest of the room. The hostess comes and gestures to the table. There's more than enough seats for all of you, so there's extra room if there anywhere else. When Drake gets here, if he brings any friends.
Yes,
so,
the
Break
police.
friends.
Like the police.
The cops that are definitely looking for the blonde man who maybe kind of sort of threatened some guys who work for the dockmaster.
I just love it. Drake's gonna come running in the door. He's like, "Come on, guys, we gotta go!" And everyone's like,
We
"But we
gotta
just
go."
ordered."
I don't even know what this is about. They're gonna do a show.
So,
Val said he'd perform later.
all the wait staff, you notice that the wait staff spend a lot of times at the tables. They kind of act like hosts themselves. You notice that whenever someone requests something, the waiter doesn't walk off and go get it. The waiter reaches a hand up, and then someone else, like someone who's not as well dressed out, but like just more like kicking staff, brings out whatever's requested. So the wait staff stays at the tables and are talking to the customers. As you guys sit down, a figure comes out kind of out of the side where the little drink station is on the side over there. A figure kind of walks out, and it is a dwarven woman. She has a long golden beard. Her hair is done up in tight braids along her head that fall back and go down her back to about the middle of her back, kind of brushing her butt. She has silver and copper wire woven into the braids, so every time she turns her head, all the braids sparkle and shine as the lights reflect off of the wire. She has the beard is brought down and is brought into two tight braids that are also spun with the same wire. She is wearing, think Xena Warrior Princess. She is wearing that metal bustier, but there's no leather. It's just the metal. And so it's covering up everything, but it's not. It's definitely revealing. You can see that she's also wearing some kind of skin-tight bodysuit underneath it. And on the bodysuit, there looks to be gems sewn onto the bodysuit all across her lower torso. And the lower portion of the suit is a variation on Xena's battle skirt, but instead of done up in leather, it has long metal plates that are hinged. They have hinges all through it. And so as she walks, it makes very light clanking noises. The plates look like they're probably made of gold. And then they have other metals kind of strewn in with them as they're, I guess, there to mimic shredded leather or something like that. So literally as she walks, she kind of jingles with that the clanking together of the light metals. And she's actually wearing very sensible boots. They're not high heels, they're not platforms, nothing crazy like that. But they are well embroidered, and they have a lot of filigree on them. They're very pretty, but you can see that she's working. She's not, they're not making her wear something ridiculous like high heels to wait tables in. As you guys walk in, she comes walking up to the table, and she kind of she puts her elbows on the table because she's a dwarf, so she puts her elbows and she rests her chin in her hands, and her it's just enough to where her braids go down into her cleavage, and she's basically resting her breasts almost on the table. And she says, "So, how's everyone doing this evening?"
I'm excited. I don't know what's happening.
She says, "If you don't know what's happening, I can guarantee you when you leave here, still have no idea what happened, but you'll be the happiest person in the world.
Woo. That sounds like a plan. Okay.
No. Well then, let's start that plan
Val
with something
giggles.
very strong and obnoxious. How's about that?
Oh dear.
Okay.
So that'd be me. But I'm also gonna get you a drink.
Okay.
She's like, I really like her. She looks at Val. What can I get you to drink?
We'll have a glass of your best wine, please.
Absolutely. And for you, and Rami looks at you and she kind of raises an eyebrow and she says, I'll have a shot of whiskey with a beer back. She says, and I keep them coming until I can't really say words. And she says, either you're breaking up with someone, have broken up with someone, or intend to break up with someone. Either way, I'm here for you. And she looks at Utopia. She says, and you...
Utopia's not looking at her.
I was gonna say, is Utopia like really trying to not look at the cleavage?
Yeah, she's full. She's like staring at the stage like something really important's happening.
Camille,
Utopia's looking just over her head.
She's
Camille
like
kind of
death
leans
gripping
over the
Camille's hand right
table,
now.
and she's like kind of drapes half over Utopia, and she says she will have a very large Long Island iced tea, and she says, and I will have the same, and she says, and maybe we'll talk to you later.
Okay, Camille.
And as she,
Damn,
slides,
Camille!
as she slides back across,
Yes,
because she
queen.
kind of like leaned across Utopia to do that. As she slides back across Utopia, she basically cat slides against you and slips back into her seat.
I feel like I need to go get my fan.
Dang.
And Camille says, "We're in a brothel. What do you want to do?" Uh-oh.
Google was not happy.
Oh no, we got censored by Google's.
Google was like, hang on a
You got
second.
Hang
censored
on
by
a
Google.
second.
Hang on a
Hang on
second.
just a damn.
No, I think
Our
I
logo
was
might
moving
be
my mouse and I
remote.
accidentally tapped a button, which dropped me out of the call momentarily.
Redacted.
I was redacted into redaction. I gotta fix the cameras, but so yeah,
That was
but
very
Camille
helpful,
kind of like
Nicole.
slinks across you, and as she does so, she looks up at you and Utopia, and she like just full on winks at you.
Hey, get it, Camille.
Let's go, mommy.
Val is in this weird state between like being proud and being like almost terrified that he saw that,
Yeah.
and is like, I want to be a good dad and be proud of her, but I also want to be a good dad, be protective of her, but also she's an adult, but also, you know what?
Proud friend,
It's fine.
horrified
Camille's
dad.
got it. Camille's got it. Camille's got it.
Yeah, Utopia can't say shit right now. She's just like dial-up noises. Like
Not a thought behind those.
not
eyes.
a thought.
I mean,
Oh
there's
my
not many
God.
thoughts behind them to begin with.
No, that was like that just took the last one she had. Like
The lights are on. Nobody's home.
no one is home. Oh my
The
God.
lights are flickering.
So
This
as-
She's
way.
discovering a lot
she
of
looks
things.
over. She looks over at Lex, and she kind of like raises an eyebrow, and she says, "You've already had fun this evening."
When you're good, you're good.
She says, "How good?"
Lex,
The best.
We do offer a bathing service.
Finally,
If you want to get more comfortable.
finally we get the bathers.
It all comes back to me. There's
It all comes back to the bathers, baby. It took us 30 episodes when we circled back.
roll credits.
Val will turn to the
Roll
server.
credits, campaign over.
We did
It was the bathers the whole time.
Val will turn to the server and will go, "We will pay for that for her."
She says,
You
she
did
looks-
good, kid.
As Val says that, she looks back to you and she goes, "That just leaves more for the tip."
Is this our Valentine's Day special?
Apparently.
This
This
is
is
actually the
Valentine's-
Lost episode 69.
This is the last episode 69. This is also our. This is our seminal Pride episode. Happy Pride Month, everyone! Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month.
Now we just
Happy
need.
Pride.
Now we just need a man with mommy milkers and a very slutty little waist to talk to Val, and just like sit in his lap. I'm making
Ray's
a
like, I
request.
can make that happen.
I'm
We're
making a request.
we're finding the twinkiest drag queen.
Yes.
I want a twink who wants to get obliterated.
Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Val deserves it.
This is the fanfic I need.
This is the premise for my next fanfic right here.
Yes.
Finally, I have a premise that's canon. We did it.
5 idiots in a brothel. Wait, there's 6 of us. There's 6 of us.
Best Pride show today.
Don't call Camille an idiot.
No,
Link will answer the
Camille is
call.
the keeper of the brain cells.
Camille just stole all of Utopia's brain cells. That shit's
She
never
really
coming
did.
back.
She really did. She now holds them in a bag in a bag of marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she went. Yeah, she went for the brain cells because she couldn't go for the balls.
And she already had the marbles.
She had the marbles.
She had the marble. Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
My face literally hurts. I just stopped smiling.
Oh, it's like my ears.
After last night, we needed to lighten the mood.
Yeah, no shit, Ray. Yeah, no shit.
So,
Wait, do we get
What?
a name?
huh? No, you haven't. She hasn't
Sure.
told you your name yet.
Oh, that feels-
Lex?
that feels weird.
What is
Whatever
your
you want is
response?
baby.
The baby.
So that just leaves more for the tip, right?
That's what she said. Yeah. Was Lex saying that out loud?
No, that was
Okay.
me just
No,
trying
no.
to make sure I had it in my
Gotcha.
memory correctly because I've laughed so much. Lex grins back at her. Oh, there's always plenty for the tip.
And she says she literally just like almost pours herself across the table towards Lex and says, "I really like you."
I like you too.
Look, we already made friends.
And she's like, she turns ahead and looks over at Callie and says, "You know what?
What?
You would probably make an excellent scrub brush."
I'm all right at cleaning. I'm not super great.
Don't worry, I'll show you everything you need to know.
Okay. Do you have like a special like technique that you do? Like, do you use certain products that like are there tools involved? I've only
She
done.
is so
Might be
eager
toys
to
involved.
learn.
Val, you're gonna have to protect that one.
What?
Well,
Val's
Val is
gonna have to
enjoying the
protect
show. Val is enjoying the show. You might want to be a little. She is very new to
life.
everything.
Life outside of the underground.
She's new
Saying
to living.
that you brought an innocent into this place.
That's what we're
She wanted
saying,
to see
yes.
what it was like. I was already
Yeah.
coming here, so
I'm gonna go get your drinks. I'll be right back.
Did
Thank
I do
you
something
very
wrong?
much. No,
She,
you're
as
fine.
she said, "No, sweetie, you didn't. I just have someone I think I want you to meet."
I love meeting
So
new
she
people.
runs back into the drink station, and Val, you can see that she goes up to what probably is a sending stone, and she starts talking into
Mhm.
it. And then she's like, "Oh, there. Number one, a little platform, a tray appears with a bunch of drinks on it,
Oh.
Number 2, as she's smiling as she's talking to things, and she kind of laughs, and she picks up the tray and she starts walking out to the table, and she says, Tony's gonna be down in just a minute. She says, Long Island iced tea, Long Island iced tea. She says, wine, white. She says, whiskey, a beer back. And she looks at Lex and she says, hurricane. And she sets it down. And she takes a sane drink and says, you are going to need all your strength. And she sets a hurricane down in front of Callie.
Oh! I didn't know we were doing hurricane shots.
Oh dear.
Is she?
Oh, no,
is she
this is a
snapping?
hurricane. This
Oh,
is,
okay.
this stands
Oh,
this
great.
tall.
Yep. Okay. Nope. I track. Why did my mind go to the hurricane shot? Like, I'm gonna throw water in your face and slap you. That probably still happens here.
100%.
That's definitely gonna happen somewhere.
100%.
In some worlds, waterboarding would be a kink. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a real shot. You can go to a bar and order a hurricane shot. Yeah, they throw
Mhm.
water in your face and then just slap the shit
And
out
slap
of
the
you.
shit out of you.
Oh,
Oh,
love it.
So, she walks off. As she's walking off, a figure comes walking out of one of the side doors. It is a tabaxi, but it stands about 6.5 feet tall. It is got a very V-shaped torso that goes down into very narrow hips. It is wearing a thin kimono over itself, and it absolutely is fully tiger striped with the white belly. And as it comes walking out, it's backlit, and as you can see, it's backlit. The light is coming through the kimono, and there's nothing beneath the kimono except Tony.
Yes.
His
Val leans over.
his body is
to-
nothing but corded muscle. And as they come walking over to your waitress, and they lean
He
down.
got ahead of me.
Huh?
She got ahead of me. She got ahead of me. Because Val basically leans over to Rami as he's walking up and says, "This is gonna be great."
oh fucking god!
I heard Tony, and the next thing I know, there's a tabaxi with tiger stripes. I'm like,
It's Twink Tony the Tiger. Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Happy
Pride
Pride Month.
I got my pride flag. Let's go.
So, as she kind of nods and she points directly at Callie, and Tony comes walking out of the drink station, and you see that somewhere, Val, you guys never saw him pick it up, but somewhere he has a glass of what appears to be bourbon in one hand, and he's holding the bourbon glass, and as he's walking up towards Callie, he draws a deep breath in through his nose. And as he does so, you just hear him purr. And as he purrs, you hear him say, "Oh, sweet, decadent innocence." And as he says that, his claws slowly come out of his fingertips and gently tap on the glass. And then he just curls his fingers in, and you see the claws are scratching the glass.
I brought the wrong character to this guy. Damn, remember about that cleric I told you about?
So he comes walking up, and he kind of like sets his drink down beside the place you're sitting in, Callie. Remember I said there's extra chairs and space and everything like that? And he kind of sits down beside Callie, and he looks over at Lex, and he says, "How have you been, cousin?" And as he says that, his tail begins flicking Callie's hair.
What was that?
He's like, he looks over at you. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. It has a mind of its own."
Oh, it's okay. I wasn't expecting it. Usually it's a snake.
A snake.
Hmm?
I feel horribly under-equipped now because I assumed that you would enjoy the company of the kitty.
Oh no, I like
It is a
cats.
snake, literally.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I
she's a druid.
I can go fetch my compatriot.
Val,
His name's
explain when we.
Alex.
Val, explain.
He's a lizard.
We mean actual, like, physical snake.
lizard man. I don't think
Like
I've
that
met
you
a
find
lizard
in the
man.
woods.
Yeah, it's
You do
physical
understand
snake.
that lizardmen have a
The-
tendency to eat other intelligent people.
Oh, like Boo.
Yeah.
Does Boo
He's
like
been-
does the
he's
scarf
been-
lift up?
He's been trained to use those talents.
I mean, that makes sense. If you have a skill, you should definitely work on it. And you know,
He like looks over at Lex and he's
and all
like,
that.
"This is amazing." He looks at the rest of the table and is like, "Are you all enjoying your evening?
immensely.
This is good." He says, "Well, I'm going to be your personal valet for the evening. It has been deemed that this one needs special care and attention so she doesn't get into any trouble. So I am going to be her personal escort. However, the rest of you are free to wander the building. The show is going to start in just a few minutes. Your waitress will be happy to take any orders. I understand that you came in with Kinsey.
Yeah, where is that fucker, by the way?
Disappeared.
I knew it. Okay.
Gone.
Yes.
He fucking teleported.
The management asked Kinsey to speak with them.
Oh.
So we will see what we can do to return your friend to you.
Take your time.
There's no rush.
He kind of nods and he says, he looks at Callie and he says, "So, I was told, and I need to make sure that I'm understanding this correctly, that you have absolutely no idea what goes on here."
Nope. I was told that we were going to a brothel and that we were going to have a good time. And there was shows and drinks.
Then we need to have a conversation.
Okay.
Because there are certain rules here.
Okay. I'm very good at rules.
Wonderful. The first rule is everything that happens here must be agreed on.
Must agree. Okay. Oh, it's like consent. Like you shouldn't touch people unless you ask.
Yes, absolutely. Which is why I apologize for my tail.
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't even notice.
Callie, it's fries. Consent is fries.
It's fries.
Freely given, retractable, informed, enthusiastic, and specific is fries.
I fucking love that.
I love that too. I've never
Yeah.
heard
You
that
never
one
heard of
before.
fries?
That's gorgeous.
Oh.
No, I've never heard of fries.
I'm
writing
That is-
down.
It's
Freely
freely
given.
given,
Retractable.
retractable,
Informed.
informed, enthusiastic, and specific.
Everyone, there will be a quiz later.
Okay.
Okay. So he looks at you and he says, "That's the first thing.
Okay.
The other portions of the conversation, I'm going to ask for your consent to whisper them in your ears.
Oh, are they secrets?
They're not secrets. I just don't
Okay.
know how much information about yourself you feel free to divulge openly.
I mean, I'm pretty open. I don't really have a lot of secrets.
Then let's just call it my personal request.
Okay, yeah. No?
So he leans in very close to you. And as he does, he's purring into your ear. He smells of cinnamon and roses,
Oh my god.
along with that wonderful smell that only kitties have.
Kitty tum tum smell.
Yep. I love how you look down at your cat.
Oh, he left me. I don't know where
Oh,
he went.
He left.
Because you're cheating on him.
Whoa. Charlie, it doesn't mean anything, I promise.
Just Tony the Tiger.
And he begins to say things. He begins to whisper to you. But we're going to get back to what he tells you after the break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Dinner and a Game, and we're here to make you horny for no apparent reason. We're going to take a 5-minute break so we can compose ourselves, or 10-minute break, it says, to compose ourselves, get drinks, and hopefully, come back and make some semblance of an actual game out of this. But no, we're having too much fun.
Nonsense.
We'll be back in
Saying
10
this
minutes.
isn't the game part?
This is the game. It's
I
all
feel
the
like
game
I
part.
feel like there's a lot of players here.
We'll be back in
Oh my
about 10 minutes,
God.
guys. Thank you. Oops, wrong button. That button. So, hi guys. Thank you very much for the extended break. We really appreciate that. I was helping my beautiful get into bed because she's having like really bad sciatic pain, and so she needs some help into the bed and getting the comfies. So I got her all tucked in. She's watching now on her phone. Hi, baby. But so last we left off, there was a shit ton of flirting happening, which of course led to us on our break discussing all the ways that we are totally inept at flirting.
Yep.
It's true. It's true.
So we are going to go and that's a very weird thing to have the chat say. When we came back into the screen, it just says the chat is ready to display messages. And I'm just like, I'm sure you're very ready, chat. But are we ready? That's real.
Are you ready?
Oh, by the way, Cassie.
Yeah.
He throws a glass of water in your face and slaps the shit out of you.
Oh, damn. Tony.
Nice. And Val just like nods like the hurricane. Nice.
You couldn't actually do that.
Just picture like Callie like, what rule did I break? I'm sorry.
The worst part about it is Callie is such a sweet being that Tony be like trying to do the whole "you've been a very bad girl" and Callie just start crying.
Right? God, I love her so much.
That was trying to be like,
I
it's
did
only
not know
no,
where this
don't do
character
that.
was
Don't do
gonna go.
that.
I was like, this is gonna be like Luna Lovegood. No, this is just like the nothing. I don't know what this became, but this is where I live now.
Callie is literally human cotton candy.
Yes.
It's all the floop and the
Yeah.
pretty. And then you like,
Hell
oh,
yeah.
and it just all is gone.
Yep. I am the raccoon putting the Where did it go?
What did I do?
Alright,
Oh my
so
goodness.
what actually happens? Tony is leaning down and he starts whispering in your ears. And what he whispers is basically he starts saying, "This is a place where people can pay money to be intimate with one another." Do you understand what that is?
Well, yeah, I've seen some of the couples in the caves do stuff like that. Interesting.
And that leads me to my next question. Did you come here with the intention, or were you just curious?
Well, I was mostly curious. I'm pretty curious about most of the things that happen here. Well, here, as in the surface here.
The surface here?
Yeah, I grew up underground.
Tony sits back and he looks at the rest of you and he's like,
We told you she meant snake as in, like the literal creature.
That's not a metaphor. She literally grew up
Yeah, like
deep
caves.
beneath
Under
the surface
ground.
of the earth.
I thought living under a rock
No
was like a
sunlight.
real thing. I didn't know it was a joke until like much later.
Tony looks at you and he says, you know, I am going to have to say,
That was a very
First
long
off-
pause.
incredibly refreshing. But secondly, I think tonight, as your chaperone, I'm going to make sure that you don't accidentally agree to anything that you don't understand.
Good man.
That would
Okay.
be best.
You are amazing.
He says,
Can Utopia give him a platinum?
he kind of looks around the rest of you. He's like, we don't get many people who are actually listening here, and we, as an industry, we appreciate someone who's been able to maintain that. So, in the meantime, for the rest of you, first act is about to begin. If any of you have need of anything else, I understand that your cousin offered that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do that first.
Diana will escort you and will provide you.
Diana!
She has apparently
Have
become very spent.
fun.
She says, please enjoy yourself and indulge as long as you like, but do understand that every moment of time in this place has value.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
You shouldn't. He says, enjoy yourself. And the waitress comes up and she puts her hands like on your shoulders, Lex, from behind you, and she just automatically begins kneading the muscles right between your shoulder blades. And she says, if you want to eat before we go up, you might want to put some carbs in your system before we begin.
Well,
Well
And you
then.
can feel that you're strong, but her hands are like strong.
Her hands are making a dent in the knot that is there.
Yes. And you're doing everything you can to not do the whole. You're just like iron willing it, trying to not move. But number one, she found the knot without even trying.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, she seems bound and determined that either her thumb will snap off or the knot will unclench.
Oof.
The question is, what will come first?
So
My vote is on the chicken. Can't have eggs without chickens.
Tony's looking at Judy and says, that's absolutely true. Speaking of chickens, is anyone hungry?
famished.
Oh my god, are we gonna get 2 meals in one day?
Apparently we're getting 2 meals
We're
in one
getting
day.
2 meals.
And Tony says, I think I have something that would be very much entertaining for myself, and hopefully very much fitting for this lovely group. We have an entire meal called an orgy. Would you be interested?
I love trying new foods.
Yes.
Yes.
Rami's like,
Is that the
this has
nickname?
gone a totally different direction.
You're
I'm
welcome.
wondering how much of this is eating off of people.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's gonna head in that direction.
So he says, he kind
I
of
know a book.
He kind of looks at Diana and he says, who's replacing you? And she says, Marguerite. And he's like, oh shit, really? I didn't even know she was working. And she says, yeah, so I kind of called her in when I was calling. He says, you already were an absolute treat. Marguerite is one of our best hosts. And her ability to set you at ease is beyond compare. And then as he's saying that, you see through that same doorway he came through, you see a figure walk in. Absolute hourglass, bombshell silhouette. Gorgeous, absolute dark red skin. Black curly hair that flows out like a giant mane and goes down their back. They're wearing an even darker red Romanesque toga dress that's belted around their waist with a simple gold cinch belt. They're wearing simple sandals with gold straps. They are a tiefling. Their eyes are solid yellow because if you guys know tieflings, they don't have pupils.
Yep.
Their eyes are solid yellow. They glow a little bit in the light. As they walk in, they have that perfect rolling saunter to their hips that speaks of that ability to do incredibly graceful things. And as they walk across, she has one hand on her hip as she's walking over, and as she comes over to the table, and she says, "I honestly hope that these two," she gestures to Diane and Tony, "haven't been talking bad about me all night. I know that they're insanely jealous of me."
Not at all. They've been singing your praises.
And she like leans over to Tony, and she puts a finger under his chin and lifts his chin up, and then she like just kisses him deeply and passionately, and she starts scratching behind his ear, and he kind of starts leaning into it and purring insanely loud, and she says, "I know, but I just love to pull this tail."
Oh, you shouldn't do that with cats. Sometimes they turn around and bite you.
And Tony turns
I
around,
like that.
Tony looks over his shoulder at you, and he's like, "But that's the fun of it. Who catches who?"
This is going to be very interesting. This is
Oh,
going to be
God.
very
Are we
interesting.
gonna have to play King to Callie?
Yes.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Kelly barely understands sex, okay? She saw,
Yeah,
like,
let's be real.
she saw elves, like, rolling around in a cave, and she's like, oh, okay. I don't know what that is, for
I
sure.
get the gist.
I get a very, I don't know if I'm correct or not, but I get a very strong leaning that Callie is like almost ace.
Yeah, I could probably...
Which makes this whole scene even that much more funny.
Yeah.
She's still speaking to me, but yeah, I think she leans
Like
pretty
Ace or
ace.
Demi, like
Yeah.
there has to be like
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
actually like going on and
Yeah,
a
because
serious
she's
connection for her to be
basically
interested.
She's basically been greeted with like raw sex on a plate all night, and she hasn't
And she's like, yeah.
noticed.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's kind
I
of.
don't understand. Brothels are just full of really nice people. Why doesn't everybody go?
Utopia's just staring into her glass. Just like,
I can't look up. I can't look up. I can't.
no!
Look
I'll look it up.
In the
Like,
meantime,
veins are
Camille has been
popping.
watching everything, and beneath the table, her hands have been like not
Oh
not
my God.
unfriendly to you,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
because she is very much enjoying your discomfort.
Like, oh my god. Oh man.
She keeps
All
on
the
leaning
rules-
over and leaning over and like whispering into your ears, like she's like,
Oh my god.
"Okay, are you gonna be all right?
I'm fine.
You're fine."
Because like all the rules of like having good manners and being a good guest are like in a death match with like kitties, like it's very much feminist brain and lesbian brain are fighting to the death. Where it's like, don't objectify people, but also that's why they're here. That's why you're here. But also your girlfriend's right there, but she seems to want a threesome with one of them. And what the fuck is going on?
I've got an excellent solution to this.
There were no etiquette lessons for this.
You hear someone kind of like almost hop up onto the table, and the rest of you see Marguerite. She kind of like hops one hip up on the table, and she reclines across the table all the way up to where she's extending her left arm out, resting on her elbow, and because Utopia is looking down at the tabletop, and
Yep.
she lifts Utopia's head up with her chin, and so she's making her look right in the eyes, and she says,
Oh boy.
"I know that you are doing everything you can to be as polite and close to us as you think you need to be. But I will tell you that there is one secret in this. One thing that you failed to catch in all of this opulence and glory. I want you to.
Okay.
Cosmos, can you see what's on the menu?" And she literally reaches in, she reaches behind her back and pulls out a menu. and hands
Oh
it to
my
you.
god!
God.
Lord!
She is the menu.
Literally.
Menu.
And she somehow slinks back off the table without disturbing anything.
Oh my god.
Val leans over
Oh my
to Rami and Lex.
Lex
damn,
left.
She's good. Did
No,
Lex
no,
leave or
Lex
did
is
Lex
still
staying for dinner?
Oh my god.
Lex is
Okay.
staying for dinner.
This is
Got a
Okay.
carbo load.
Yeah.
Got a carbo load.
Right.
Be prepared.
Oh thank god. Okay. Hopefully they'll just give Lex all their attention.
Did she? Yeah, she's got to refuel. Man, she's just gonna fight.
He's got a reveal.
And she says, I understand you all be participating in the orgies.
Yes.
Is that
Yes, we are
figure-
partaking of the orgy. Yes.
That's a figure of speech, right?
No, it's a meal.
It's a meal.
Yeah, I thought it was food.
It's food and not people, right?
I don't think
I-
people would taste very
We
good.
don't eat sentient beings here.
Well,
Oh, well,
Oh.
yes. No.
in a manner of speaking.
Okay, Utopia's gonna point to Val and be like, "That's my dad. I don't
Not like actual dad.
Marguerite raises
Hello.
both eyebrows and kind of looks at
Adopted.
Val. Really?
Adopted.
Adopted.
Either
But
way,
yes.
I
Yes.
I
this
don't.
is- I'm going to tell you something
Oh my god.
that you will find probably fairly funny. This isn't the
Oh, okay. Somehow that does not surprise us.
first. In the meantime, we will be bringing the first trays out. If there's anything that displeases you, let us know. And we will see that the offenders are properly punished.
Punished, you say?
That feels a
Shrek,
little
you say.
extreme.
Tony
Lex,
kinda
I'm
leans
about
down
to start
towards
breaking
Callie,
shit.
and he says, sometimes there are people enjoy some struggle and violence with their tastes.
Huh.
And in
Interesting.
this case, punishment is one of
It's true.
Okay,
those. He says, so
interesting.
don't feel bad if you don't like something and you say you don't like it. Whoever's getting punished wants to be.
This feels weird, but okay.
It's like, it's hard to explain unless you enjoy it yourself. And I don't mean you have to go enjoy it. I mean, if it doesn't sound appealing to you, you're probably not going to understand.
I mean, I kind of understand. It's like when you fall down a hill and get a really good bruise, and you just keep poking it. It hurts, but you gotta keep poking it because it's fun.
Wrong.
That's not. Tony kind of looks at Lex. Lex says, no, that pretty much sums it up.
It really does.
The
Yeah.
scale
yeah.
is increased, but.
Yeah.
That's the gist.
Yeah.
Is, well, then you have a decent understanding. He says, so, I'm just trying to let you know that don't use that as a reason that you don't like something, not to ask for something else.
Okay.
Tony says, and he looks at you and he says, and if you like the person punished can be me.
Oh. I'll have to think about it.
Okay. I just figured it might make you more comfortable. Sometimes the idea of punishing a stranger is oddly less comfortable than punishing someone who you know and who you know will consent to.
That's fair. Yeah, because that was one of the rules, right? Enthusiastic, informed, specific. Those are rules. Okay. Mhm.
I love that.
I got it.
I fucking love her.
I love the fact that you're taking notes. So,
I love them.
Rami leans over into Val and she says, so, I was thinking we'd come in, there'd be drinks, there'd be laughing, brothel, get some information, maybe have some fun. She says, this place is on another level.
Yeah, we can definitely agree with all of the above. It's
okay.
We are good. We think that if we can, if the stage thing works out for us, and we can get on the stage and perform a little bit, we can. That'll help us regulate.
Okay. Well, if you get too uncomfortable, do not think anything about asking to leave, go somewhere else, anything like that. Because if you're not comfortable, you know, I don't have a problem heading out.
We appreciate that.
We never really went any place like this before.
No,
I certainly
we
didn't go
didn't.
any place like this with. She kind of stops for a second. I certainly didn't go like this to any place with anyone else. She says, but I'm not saying I didn't go to any one of these places.
Also fair. And Val just like lifts his glass to new experiences. Then
He lifts his glass and she taps it to yours, and she says, very much so in this case.
yeah.
And then just as she's tapping her glass to you, they bring out these huge trays that are filled with cut fruit, and they're filled with these different little cups that have all these different type of like flavored sauces, like honeys, jams. They have stuff like basically the equivalent of cream cheese, everything like that. And they put the platters down. They distribute little plates out for you, and it's like, let the decadence begin. And she says, does anyone need anything? And she goes into actual, like, kind of almost like a server mode, where she starts asking if you need drinks, anything like that. Are you all just going to tear into the feast?
Yeah.
Well, number one, everything is designed to accentuate everything else. So it's kind of interesting as you're eating that you're seeing all this stuff kind of like, you know, be served out, because a lot of the fruit you don't recognize. A lot of it is fairly exotics. There are a number of plants that are native to the Mist Mother's planets originally, that they don't have other places, but there's also stuff like standard fare, like oranges, watermelons, cantaloupe, passion fruit, dragon fruit, stuff like that, the kiwis, all the other stuff, but there's also more odd things. You guys are left to chit chat, talk, and eat. As I said, she's asked, Margarita's actually taking orders and everything like that, but she doesn't go anywhere, and she's always engaging someone in conversation. And as the food is served, the flirting kind of dies down a little bit, and they begin more earnest conversations, you know, asking what you're in town doing, blah, 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 blah. What type of answers are you giving them?
Sphinx, we can't hear you.
I muted my mic. We're kind of passing through on our way to. Please remind me the name of the other planet.
Tyrell.
Tyrell.
We're on our way to Kyrell to take care of some much needed business.
And as you say that, Tony kind of leans forward and is like, Kyrell? He's like, isn't that a very, very dangerous place right now?
We do dangerous stuff all the time.
It's kind of true, yes. Well, not kind of true, it's very true. We are adventurers. I don't know if that word really fits us anymore, but
I feel like it's a little bit of an understatement at this point.
sure. Yeah.
This is the first time we've gotten to eat 2 meals in one day peacefully in months.
That's true. Generally, every time we try to eat, something explodes.
A month's for you.
All darkness spontaneously appears and we get jumped.
But usually by demons or shadow puppets or something of that nature.
We get in a lot of fights that aren't really our fault.
Or
True.
someone who stole someone else's skin. That's when you showed up.
Oh yeah, that's right. That did
Yeah.
happen.
Hmm.
That time that Drake killed someone while I was still in their mind. That was
Oh.
fun.
And yes, bananas are at the orgy.
Uh,
Gotta have a banana.
And peaches.
And peaches.
some melons.
We got some.
Very, very juicy peaches and watermelon.
Yes, innuendo flows like rain, or falls like rain. So you guys are sitting. Tony kind of as Tony is like looking at you, he says, "So, when are you going?"
Once the king is finished repairing our ship, or having our ship repaired, we should say.
Says, I know it's odd, but do you have berths for passengers?
Are you looking for passage?
Not for myself.
We were hoping to add to our numbers before we left here.
That's very true. Yes.
This wouldn't be as someone on crew. This would be just someone for passage. Not many ships go to Cairo. Even fewer of them allow passengers.
It's your call, Captain.
We're sure that we can accommodate that.
Thank you. And I didn't mean to bring up such a heavy subject in what's supposed to be very light movie, but I could not see an opportunity for a friend to come and not do so.
You couldn't consider yourself a friend otherwise. So we understand. So yes, of course.
Very well. It is, in the meantime, the second course is ready to be served. I hope you enjoy. I hope all of you partake in flesh.
Val just laughs.
So the next big trays are brought out, and they are covered in all kinds of very thin sliced meats and cuts. There's like thin sliced beef briskets. There's thin sliced ham, turkey breasts, chicken breasts, more exotic meats as well. You recognize one of the meats as axe beak, which is dangerous by itself to raise. But it's often very, very often used as a food source as well. It just has its own risks. And so, but there's all kinds of, and then there's all kinds of sauces. Like there's gravies, there's like the equivalents of barbecue sauces, steak sauces, everything like that. And then there's loaves of peasant bread that have already been sliced up that are distributed all around the trays. And then there's also some lots of sliced cheeses laying around. And he's like, I like to call this the sandwich portion of the orgy, where we all get to sandwich together.
It's a charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board!
Charcuterie
We
board.
got the charcuterie board.
Charcuterie board. Here for it.
Chat is not chat, but the closed captioning is saying coochie board.
Yes,
Yep.
it's a coochie board.
I mean, basically.
It's a coochie board.
Yeah.
So you guys are enjoying this meal. As that course is kind of laid out, served for you, the lights flash and on the stage, and Tony says, "Oh," And he looks over at you, Lex. It's cousin. You're at least going to get catch in the first act. And the music begins kicking up. And have you guys ever heard? I know you probably heard of the movie, but do you know the musical piece Bolero?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh
So-
yeah.
That begins playing.
Okay.
With like you don't know where they are because you can't see down into the orchestra pit, but you can hear those huge kettle drums being hit, and it is resounding through the entire theater to the point where you can feel the reverberations in your chest as the song to Bolero begins playing, and the curtains pull back, and there are dancers who begin coming out, and as they're coming out, the drum beat to Bolero is dun, 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 dun. And as the dancers are coming out, they're taking long steps that on every main beat, every fourth beat of Bolero, they're taking one long step. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And the dancers are men and women who are covered in, at best, diaphanous clothing. It's belted to them, but it's almost completely sheer and completely see-through. They come out and they begin walking into the stage, and they're walking from two different angles. They're crossing over each other and coming back and around in front of each other until they form what probably from above would look like a bow, a single bow on the stage. And once they get to that point, the crescendo for Bolero kicks in, and it begins turning over into the main chorus. And as they do that, all of them throw their hands up at once on the grand crescendo, and there is a explosion of the pyrotechnics theatrics on the stage, and a figure is launched out from probably a trapdoor in the stage, sails a good 10 to 15 feet up into the air, and then lands in a crouch with one hand extended. And it is a male figure. Actually, Utopia and Val, you recognize the form right away. It's a satyr. And they're in a low crouch. They have their hand down on the table, and they're holding a baton out in their right hand. As they begin to move, they're not wearing anything, but of course they're satyrs, so they have fur on their legs. As they begin to move, they drag the baton across the stage, and as they do, sparks come off the end of the baton, and it lights on fire.
Nice.
And as it lights on fire, they switch hands, and as they switch hands, somehow they pull a second baton from the first baton. And so now they're holding two batons out at either arm's length. And the batons are burning on fire. And as they're coming forward with the chorus playing from Bolero, they're walking forward through the center of the bow that they flew out of, and the dancers begin fanning out and around and back. And as they put their hands up, and they basically take the flames and they run them down their chest, across their skin, run them down their chest, and then snap them out to the sides. And as they do so, you see flames still dancing on their skin, but going out as they're moving forward, the flames are going out. This is a fire dance. If anyone is familiar with the burner culture, this is something that's huge. It's a big time. It's only very experienced people do it, and it is pretty much a celebration of what flames are and what flames mean to them. The satyr his horns are the small tight horns that bend over backwards over his head. He's got brown hair that is done up into braids going down the back and kind of about a little bit longer than shoulder length. Very wiry, but very muscular and very strong. He moves with the grace of a dancer, even though his legs are, they technically bend the wrong way. They're very, very graceful, and he is moving around the floor with the two wands that are producing the flames, and the other dancers are moving around him. And when he gets close to one of the dancers, he reaches out with one of the wands and he touches it to that diaphanous material that they're wearing, and it just goes up immediately in flames. The flames go across their bodies. The materials are barely clinging to them, and you see that the clothing just burns away instantly, and the dancer's left completely nude. And as the dancer left completely nude, the dancer pantomimes shock and runs off the stage. And so this routine keeps on going up as the satyr is dancing through the crowd of the other dancers wearing these clothes, and it's basically just like a burlesque show. He keeps on just like, tapping one of the dancers' clothing seemingly innocently. He's not like looking at them and reaching out to touch them. He's doing a dance move and he accidentally touches one of the other dancers, and their outfit goes up in flames. Number one, the outfits didn't really cover anything anyway. So but number two, it's just a very much erotic and vaudevillian style number, burlesque style number, I should say. And after the end of it, the crowd is kind of like both chuckling, and you can hear the gasps as like you can tell people like may have had favorite dancers and they're just waiting for it. And it's like, what are you waiting for? They're basically naked anyway. But the moment that the clothing disappears, you hear the gasps and the oohs and the ahs.
About the bit.
It's about the bit.
About the bit.
And so they basically the number finished up into the time of Bolero. The last dancer is revealed, and the satyr turns to face the audience. He spins the batons, which cause the circles to appear in the air, and he keeps on spinning them, brings them in front of himself, switches the batons in one hand, begins spinning a very large circle in front of himself, and then the circle seems to maintain a ring of fire. They leap through the ring of fire and disappear, and the ring of fire winks out to the last chords of Bolero.
Val, just thunderous applause. Thunderous applause from Val.
Rami leans over, is like, "Can you do any of that?"
Not at all. That was that's not my style of bardsmanship. Like that is an entirely different level of barddom. I am a different kind of bard. That we can appreciate all of that. That is
Rami's
wow.
So looking at the stage, says, "Yes, we can appreciate all of that. We can appreciate all of that."
Mm-hmm.
Very, very appreciative right now. Feeling very appreciative.
That was really cool. I wonder if they teach if they teach people how to do that.
There are bard schools for that. Yeah.
That's not a
Maybe I gotta go.
No,
Maybe
that's
I'll
not
go
a
to college when I'm done with this.
Maybe I'll go to college. I want to go to school.
Kingdoms of Mist Part 2. Callie goes to Bard.
Callie goes to
Yeah,
college.
Cool.
So, while that was happening, unbeknownst to you all, because eyes were down on the stage, the servers have brought up the last course. It is, of course, full of like candied fruits, kind of like candied dates, candied oranges, candied everything like that. Lavish and luxuriantly silky puddings. Slices of cake, angel food cake, deep, delicious, dark devil's food chocolate cake. Just absolute sugary decadence.
Hello.
And as a last treat for the orgy, they bring out a very large metal container that has frost all around the outside of it. And Tony leans down to you, Callie, and says, "Have you ever had ice cream?"
I don't think so.
You are absolutely in for a treat. And he
Yes,
waves,
you are. Oh,
and the server he's scooping it up, and he's like, "This is called vanilla ice cream. It is made with vanilla beans. Have you ever smelled a vanilla bean?"
Mhm.
He's like, "Imagine what it'd taste like. This is better than that." He hands you a bowl of vanilla ice cream.
You eat it with a spoon. It's very good.
There's a spoon in
Fully picturing Callie just like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was trying to get ahead of that.
Going for
That
it.
was 100% getting ahead of that.
No, I picture Callie like just grabbing the ball of ice cream
Oh,
and then
Jesus
trying to
Christ.
bite
Oh, it's
into it
cold.
with her teeth.
Cold.
It's like Mia at the state dinner where she takes the big spoon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god. I love her so much.
So, Diana looks at you and says, "Are you ready for your own dessert?"
Oh my god.
I am very ready for my own dessert.
Follow me. And she gets up, and instead of going towards the servant entrances where everyone's coming in and going for the waitstaff, she takes you back out the way you came in.
Have fun,
and
Lex.
you go up several flights of stairs in the staircase, and you get in this area where it looks like it's small individual apartment rooms. You know, because there's lots of corridors and there's lots of doors, but they're evenly spaced where there's some distance in between them. And so she basically takes you up there, and what happens behind closed doors is completely up to you. But she is more than willing to participate in just about anything you're willing to request, ask, or be asked of, as she will. But there are hard lines. No real injuries. No bloodletting. Nothing like
No.
that.
No, that's not into that.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. She's
Yes.
letting you know those are like house rules.
Yeah. And for Lex, that was never.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, no, we will fade to black on Lex.
Yes. Faded back on Lex. Lex will have a very nice evening.
Cool.
Oh, and it all comes with an actual real massage
Ooh.
to end the night in absolute opulence and comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
How long is Lex going to indulge?
As long as she can.
So, are you literally doing the whole until she falls asleep thing?
Falls asleep, passes out. It's, same difference.
Same difference. Do me a favor. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oof.
I was just pulling up the dice roller so I could roll to see how the night went.
I'm just seeing how long you're going to be knocked out for.
That is. Oh, okay. That is a 19 total.
Wow.
Nice. All right.
Damn.
So,
Wait, was a saving throw
yes.
or just a?
No, it's a saving throw.
Hold on.
I have a TN in mind.
Make that a 24.
Okay.
Jesus.
You're a barbarian. No, it makes sense.
I'm
mean,
a
that's-
barbarian. I have
yeah.
a plus to my con saves.
So, you lose all sense of time as you are completely gone into absolute sensory overload.
Lost in the sauce. If you will.
Literally lost in the
Lex
sauce.
will be
Very
missing
lost.
for the next 20 hours.
Oh my.
We lost them!
And
We
you're
lost
gonna
one,
run up a
boys.
bill of 2.5 platinum pieces.
Oh,
Oh.
that's
Oh, we
fucking
got
nothing. We're good.
We got that.
We
Dude,
won
for normal
more than that.
adventures, that would be like devastating.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we won more than that in what Utopia bet.
I know.
You run up a bill. Oh no, almost
A
3
whole-
platinum.
A whole 2.5
A
platinum.
whole 2.5 platinum.
no.
Oh, Slade isn't
How will we
so. I'll
recover?
chip him off a piece of our platinum block. One of 6.
Actually, those things are worth like 1,000 platinum pieces each, but you have to
I
take them to
know.
the bank to cash them in.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
no. Lex gets to do whatever the fuck she wants.
Okay, but I'm just picturing Utopia just putting the platinum block down and being like, whatever she wants.
Literally,
He's like, she earned this.
like
Like every single host in the building leaves and goes to Lex's room.
Lex is never seen again.
Bliss out of your mind.
Legend
Lex
says
becomes
that
D&D
wa-
Hugh Hefner.
Legend
Oh
says
my
that
gosh,
If you walk
she
the
owns-
halls of the red silks, you can still hear Lex moaning.
Still hear her moan.
She is not
On this
resting. She is
episode.
not at peace, but she is very happy.
But she's very happy.
She's gonna make it everybody's
Oh
problem.
my god, I can't wait
That's
for
the most
Sam to come
amazing way
back
to
next
retire a
week.
D&D character ever.
Right?
Oh my god.
Godspeed, Lex. Godspeed.
Godspeed.
What a legend.
God damn.
An absolute unit.
I was absolute fucking unit. Oh
So,
my god.
What is everyone else's intentions for the evening? Is everyone going to stick around here for a while? Lex obviously has
Yeah.
absconded to their own devices. Camille is having actually a great time. She loves the stage show.
Oh,
She
this
is
is
absolutely she spends most of her time flirting with everyone else,
Oh my
but
god.
pawing Utopia under the table.
Oh god.
Nice.
Oh god.
Val is still looking to perform, and just enjoying like everyone else.
Yeah, you
just
get the
having a
feeling
good time.
very, very quickly on that this is very much a burlesque style show. It is very much titillization. It is very much, a lot of, very, very risque, very, very, very exotic and erotic numbers.
Val has something in mind for that.
Okay. As you are seeing do that, the hostess that Rami originally spoke to comes walking on the table and she says, "We can actually get him in if he can keep the act to like 3 minutes. We can get him in at the end." And then Rami looks at you and says, "What can you do in 3 minutes?" She's like, "Don't take that."
I've got
away."
something. We've got something in mind for that.
It's like,
And Val just taps his loot case.
so the
Can we get some
hostess-
dancers on stage with us?
Huh? Oh yes, absolutely. Just tell us what you need.
It's like 2 or 3 dancers, just to kind of interpret the piece that we're
So
gonna
I
do.
can tell them they can have free reign to interpret the music as they see fit.
Absolutely.
Are you going to be dancing, or are you just going to be playing?
We're going to be playing and singing.
Okay. So I just wanted to make sure if the dancers were going to include you in their antics, or if they're going to be leaving you to play and sing.
They can leave me to play and sing. They can dance around us. That's all fine.
You've seen the interactivity of our dances. I don't know how well you'll be able to play with someone doing that all over you.
Fair. So not just the dancing is fine. The dancing is fine.
Not the vague hand gestures.
not the big hand gestures. Not the vague hand gestures. The specific hand gestures. Not the vague hand gestures.
Just very specific answers. Yeah.
So she says, then come with me. I'll take you backstage.
Excellent. See you out there, and Val will grab his loot and will follow.
Rami, as you're walking away, Rami says, "After all that, you better be impressive."
Oh, that's true. He's the closer.
Oh, that's right. You haven't seen us play in a long time. We've got you.
And so, Callie,
Mhm.
Tony leans over to you again, and he says, "So, how has this been for, I guess, an education?"
It's very entertaining. I didn't know that there were so many people that were open to not wearing clothes in public. I was told very strictly that you should always wear clothes when on the surface.
Technically, this is not public. This is still a private place.
Okay, yeah, no.
And in this case, they're intentionally not wearing clothes to entertain.
Mhm.
It's part of the act. So it's still, I do believe, it's still frowned upon to go outside in nude. Although I've seen some of the new styles, and they're pretty much nude. But he says, but that's neither here nor there. It is frowned upon. Hence why you might get accosted by the guard if you walk around naked.
Noted. Okay.
But in here, you're free to do as you wish, honestly. If you would feel more comfortable nude, then by all means, I'm mostly nude myself.
I don't know. I kind of like the way clothes feel.
Then that's what you enjoy. That's the whole point.
But this is very entertaining. I have certainly seen a lot more things here than I have on anywhere else. Nobody's trying to hurt anybody. Like there's nobody dying. There's no explosions. There's no damage. Everything's very intentional.
You have had a very interesting experience, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Well, I am very happy to have been a part of what I hope has been a relaxing evening for you then.
This is very fun. I think I'm going to come to brothels more often.
I would definitely recommend this one. Other brothels are not. I can't speak to them, but you're going to get a different atmosphere at every single one. I guarantee you.
That makes sense. Like restaurants.
Yes, like restaurants. Very similar to restaurants, actually. Except, clothing is not optional there.
No, you should wear clothes at a restaurant.
Yes.
It's not just food.
What else would be eat?
I'm not explaining that. I'm not explaining that.
Callie
That's just
slaps
you and me
on
then.
the leg under the table.
Oh my god!
she's like, it's Kai looks over at you. Sorry, Camille looks over at you, Callie, and she says, "It's another intimate thing."
Oh, okay. So it's like it's like a euphemism thing. I'm learning a lot of those.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a euphemism.
Like making out.
Very
put that in my
similar.
note.
Very similar, honestly. Utopia is just losing her shit.
She's losing her shit! And she can't leave because Val's gonna perform and she wants to support Dad performing at the strip club. However that turns out.
I don't think Callie's seen Val perform.
No, I don't think Callie's seen Val
Don't think so.
like
All right.
like something where he put his whole pussy into it though, because there's be a distraction really quick versus okay, I've got a stage, I got lights, I got a setup, let's do this.
Have you all seen the D&D movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. That movie had
Val's
no
about-
right to be as good as it was.
Val's
know.
about
Seriously.
to put his
No
entire
right.
hellish
It's super
pussy
disappointed
into
they're probably
this.
not going to make another.
No.
Yeah.
But, Sphinx,
yes.
number one, roll a performance check. Just one.
Okay.
Can he roll with advantage?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. He's been hyped up quite a bit.
He's been hyped up, and also we haven't been attacked today, and also we ate 2 whole meals.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah,
first
that
time
hasn't
we've been
happened
rested
ever.
and not malnourished.
23.
Excellent.
Go!
That is an almost superhumanly good performance. So, now that we have the role established and out of the way, describe Val's performance to us.
Okay, so the first thing that Val does is he comes out on the stage, he sees the dancer, he's just like, cool, cool, cool. He walks over to the orchestra pit and he goes, listen, this is going to be a fairly good groove. It's just 2 chords. Follow along. You'll pick it up real easy. It's gonna be fine. It's real sultry, real sexy. You've got this.
And he says,
And
so, a day that ends in Y.
exactly.
He says, we'll follow your lead.
Excellent. Val already has his lute strapped to him, and he casts stocking grasp, but only on his fingers.
Okay.
And the moment he touches the lute, there are various places on the lute that start glowing blue with the electricity.
I was already making this joke before you started saying that.
Yes. And he just starts he gets into this really, really sultry, sexy groove on the guitar. And the band starts following along, and he just stops all of a sudden, and he goes, shh, break it down. I don't want nobody else to hear the sound. This love is a private affair. Interrupt the flow, no, you better not dare. Plays a lick on the guitar. You've got to break it on down. In the daytime, I think not. And the music just goes, I wanna do you after school like some homework. Am I getting you hot? And he's just flowing through that song. The dancers are getting into it behind him. The band's going along with it. And I'd rather wait till everyone's fast asleep than do it in the kitchen on the tabletop. Oh, and like he does like another full verse of that, and then goes into the sexiest guitar solo you've ever heard in your life. And like the whole time, like the whole like guitar solo, he is locked eyes with Rami. And he goes, you see, he finishes the guitar solo, and then, you say you wanna jam. Well, listen up, girl, yeah. I'm gonna whisper music in your ear that'll rock your world. Oh, and he turns to the dancer. What's my name, baby? The dancer goes, tonight I teach you, baby, to scream and a scream and a scream and a scream and oh, break it down. I don't want nobody else to hear the sounds. And he kind of crests it down with this like beautiful kind of melodic ending that ends in a gorgeous kind of elongated guitar riff that just kind of just lingers in the air for a moment. The hands come away from the guitar still sparking, and like arcs of electricity are kind of following him, almost kind of like an after image. And as they follow, he dips down into a bow as the orchestra just kind of finishes off.
As the orchestra tapers out, the crowd is silent for just like those few heartbeats, to where when Val's bending bending into the bow, he kind of is like, what happened? And then
oh no.
They just fire out, and there is cheering, there is explosions of sound as people begin to just like they're throwing money on the stage.
Like, oh damn.
And the stage manager comes. You get ushered off stage by the stage manager, and the stage manager looks at you and he's like, "That was amazing."
Thank you. I appreciate that. I've never done that song before, so I figured this would be a good place for that.
So as he says, "Yeah, no, that was well thought out."
And we noticed that the audience was throwing money on the stage. Give that to the dancers and the orchestra, please.
He's like, "Thank you very much, but in all honesty, you earned it. But I'll let them know."
We thank you.
So you start heading back to the table. The meal has been served. Lex has
Utopia gives him a big hug. She's very proud.
Excellent. No problem.
She's so proud.
Yeah, Utopia gives him a big hug. Camille pats him on the shoulder, like is patting him on the back and says, "That was amazing." Callie, what are you doing?
You could do that the whole time.
Whole time.
Yeah, it's we went to school and studied, and that's kind of our thing. Yeah.
We could have had such a great time on the ship.
I mean, we still can. I mean, we can solely do that and more of that on the ship. We've just been, fighting for our lives.
That's why we've been really busy.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will be a more common occurrence with us, and we'll get to actually just spend some nice time together.
We certainly hope so.
We'll have to make a new rain stick.
As everything's being served, as everything's being cleaned off the table and everything like that, Camille kind of stands up and she says, "Speaking of spending time together," and she pulls Utopia to her feet.
Oh my god.
And she says, "I've already settled the bill and tipped everyone generously." And she says, Camille kind of looks around. She's like, "I'm holding her money badge." And Camille says, "So everything else, everyone has spending money, yes?"
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh God.
In that case,
Definitely.
I'm going to take my girlfriend and we're going to go explore. All of you have a wonderful evening.
Absolutely.
Okay, have fun.
Rami stands up and looks. She stands up and she hasn't said anything, and she was sitting down the entire time you were back at the table. She stands up and she looks at you, and
Oh
she
boy.
seems actually kind of angry. And then she says, "Come on!" And she grabs you by the hand and starts
Oh.
dragging you out, and she just drags you upstairs. And she tells the hostess, she's like, "We'll be taking a room."
You did it, Dad! You did it! You did it!
Glory, glory indeed.
You did
Yes!
it!
Callie,
Yeah,
you're at the table alone with Tony.
I am alone with Tony the tiger.
And Tony looks at you and he says, "Well, all your friends have gone off to explore. So now you have to ask yourself one very important question. What are you going to do for the rest of the evening? If you want to
that's-
stay here, you're more than welcome to, and I will make sure that you stay safe. If you want to leave and go back to, I'm assuming you have a ship, because everyone mentioned ships.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, I can arrange for you to get a ride home. If you want to explore anything else, all you have to do is ask."
I think we were supposed to be meeting Drake here.
We can give him a message if you choose to go home.
No, he's in my head a lot of the time, so I think it's fine.
Okay. So what are you going to do? There will be another show starting up in about an hour. Oh, there's also gambling. I don't know if you gamble.
I don't understand gambling. But I really enjoy the shows. I would actually really like to stay and watch the shows.
He's like, all right, no problem. Let's move over to the further tables back where the actual seating is for the shows for people who are not eating, and we can watch the shows from there.
Okay, that sounds like a great plan.
There are some like movie theater riser seating towards the door as it comes into the amphitheater, but most of the floor of the amphitheater is devoted to dining table seating. All right.
Yeah.
So I think we've got everyone squared away for the evening, as Callie is going to be taking in shows with Tony the Tiger.
With Tony the Tiger.
Lex is going to be exhausting themselves repeatedly for hours and hours and hours. Very appropriate time for a yawn, Lissa.
Literally.
Hmm.
And I think this is a wonderful place to wrap up for the evening, guys.
This is a fun trip to the brothel, guys.
Oh boy, did not
We had a great
expect that.
time.
It was great. I love whole impromptu things like going to a brothel. I get to
That
run
was-
with
Hell
it.
yeah.
Going
That
as
was
like a
great.
And I
whole
hope I
family group.
clipped that song good enough to capture it all, Sphinx, because I wanted to catch that.
Oh, that's
Mm.
oh.
I'm sure
mwah.
it's great. I'm
Now
sure
you
it's
gotta
great.
now you gotta do an actual cover. I want an actual cover.
Oh hell yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's something I've been wanting to do for a while.
Yes.
We'll add it
adore
to the
that.
Patreon.
Yes.
Yes.
If you want to hear Sphinx sing in HD,
You
subscribe
can
to our
set
Patreon.
it as your ringtone.
Said it as your ringtone.
We'd like to hear Sphinx get you
We
pregnant.
go to Gen Con
If
and
you'd
that's
like
all
to hear
we hear.
Sphinx get you pregnant.
Ooh, that would be a good shirt. I might have to
Adam is
visit my
gonna
mom
sing
this
to you,
weekend.
and you're gonna be
Gosh.
pregnant by the end of the night. So
Might have to stop and visit my mom's one of these weekends and make some shirts.
Just give me what was the line again?
What is it? Eat your school and don't do vegetables.
Eat your school and don't do vegetables.
And
Got
stay in
Yeah.
drugs.
Stay in drugs, eat your school, and don't do vegetables.
it. Another classic line from Kingdoms of Mist, ladies and gentlemen. I'm
God.
emailing it to myself
y'all are gonna kill me
now.
again with that
Oh,
one.
Put up a meme in the,
It's in the
chat.
Discord. It's in the
That's in the
Discord.
Discord.
Excellent.
And there's a drunk baby as the image.
There's a drunk baby.
Yes.
Right.
It was that or some frat boy, and I was like, no, drunk baby.
No,
way
the
better.
baby is
Drunk
way
baby.
funnier.
100%
I'm like that
drunk
that
baby.
fits Callie better.
It does.
If I
love
had
the
any
fact that we've
drawing
established
talent.
kind of more about Callie's personality too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a fun little learning
Yeah.
experience.
Because I was
Callie
like,
a
Callie's
demi
really not
icon.
reacting to any of this.
No.
And I was like, I wonder if that means that she just isn't literally reacting to any of it.
Yeah, no, it felt I wasn't sure how it would be going into this, but it just felt right. Like I felt like she wouldn't really
Yeah.
that wouldn't be a thing for her.
That
It's
feels
gonna
right.
be
Yeah.
really interesting if somehow Callie gets involved in some kind of romance thing,
Ooh.
like something involuntary, you know?
Demi icon. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, like she catches feels for someone and she's like, I don't know what to do with this. What happened?
That is literally my warlock.
Also, just make sure that if that were to happen, she and Utopia get to have the least productive conversation about it that's ever happened.
Oh yes. Like,
Because they both suck ass at this.
I don't
Like,
I love the fact that Camille is like, just loves, like, fucking with Utopia.
I love it. I
And-
love it.
Love
That's how it is.
like
And she never takes it. She doesn't want to take it too far. She just
No,
wants to
no.
like totally tantalize Utopia and drive Utopia
Yeah.
crazy.
and she's
uh,
needling her.
Yeah, and then like take Utopia home.
Yeah, and Utopia's just fighting for her fucking life. Like,
Absolutely, she is.
oh my god.
And loving every minute of it. That is
100%.
Utopia's flavor of masochism. Is just getting like
She's learning so many things about herself.
Well, that's the whole point of the game, man. We're exploring characters, and that's the funnest part about it. The combat's fun, the monsters are fun, everything, the craziness is fun, but exploring the characters is what the game's about, and I think we're having a good time. I love Lex getting mauled by a gnome,
God.
and just like, okay, I'm tolerating this. I'm tolerating it. Boo, you're
But
gonna,
she got
Let
rewarded.
me keep the gnome.
She got
you're
rewarded.
gonna keep the gnome?
No, we said maybe. Then it's the joke of maybe we'll let the mimic eat the gnome.
Oh yeah,
We're not keeping the gnome.
we're not
We're
keeping
not-
the gnome.
We're not keeping the number, we're keeping the dwarf.
We're
keeping the
keeping-
dwarf.
The dwarf is not an adventurer. The dwarf is a performer.
So
Yeah,
what I'm
well-
hearing is that Lex is gonna have hoes in different area codes, and this is one of the bases.
can
I got a
respect
girl in every port.
There you go.
Oh,
Yes.
100%,
Lex is officially a
baby.
sailor.
100%.
Hey, the best thing about having a girl in every port is she's got a sailor on every ship.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. While you're out there learning, she's out there learning. That's what it's all about. Improving the overall experience for everyone.
Exactly.
And Ra, thank you very much for sticking with us. Really appreciate it. I hope you had a really good time. We are going to do our best to go find someone else to raid now, but before we do that, Sphinx, where can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
Well, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, you can find me right here with Dinner and a Game, playing Emerald Sanctums and Kingdoms of Mist, respectively. On every other Friday, you can find me with the Alex Baum channel, playing Initiatives and Intrigue. But on this Friday and every Friday, every second Friday after that, you can find me with the 80H Adventures channel, running my campaign, Agents of the Circle. We're on our 5th and final season, and Shenanigans and Calamity are afoot. So come join us for that. Saturdays, you can find me with 80H Adventures, swapping between Heroes Arc and Unlicensed Magic War Crimes. But this week, I believe, is a Heroes Arc week, so come and check that out. And Sundays for The Tale That Never Was, which is also an 80H Adventures show. You can also find me on TikTok at Circle DM, Sphinx Acosta, just about everywhere else on the internet. Oh, and also at Gen Con. You can find me at Gen Con.
Yeah, go watch him DM at Gen Con. Buy your
Yeah.
tickets now.
Dun, dun, dun. We've already bought our
it's a good time.
tickets, but yeah, if you guys want to
The
get
lover,
tickets
the
for that-
fighter, and the thieves.
yeah,
The Lover, the Dreamer, and the Thief.
The dreamer and the thieves. I knew I knew
I
I'd get it
I
wrong.
love the plot concept, dude. I just love it.
I'm so excited to see how you execute.
Yeah,
gonna be
basically
great.
a crew of thieves are hired to basically infiltrate the dreaming and steal an idea. It's going to be a good time.
It's gonna be so cool. I can't wait to
That's
see
more
that.
of what I thought.
Utopia, Milagros, I should say. I'm been
Hello.
Utopia all night. Milagros,
Lost
where can
in
people
the
find you
thoughts.
on the massive interwebs?
People can find me on the Starfield Monday nights and every other Saturday morning, including this Saturday morning. And then you can find me being tormented in various ways on Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights. This time it was positive torment. We love to see it. Here, both dinner and a game. Other stuff is kind of up in the air because I finally got a job, so I am getting acclimated to that, and also possibly moving in another month because trying to get settled someplace that does not have pests, because love rats as pets, do not love them as involuntary roommates. But I have a lot of stuff coming up, including romance novellas that I'm planning, and I'm planning to update my website and my blog some more. I got stuff coming, mostly writer stuff. So yeah, probably Kingdoms of Mist fanfiction.
Canon fanfiction.
Canon fanfiction.
Canon fanfiction.
With
Hell
Lex,
yeah.
it's gonna be like hour 1, hour 2.
Let's
It's
get
gonna
to
be
our
like
own
a 48
novella.
hour special.
That's its own novella. It's the whole 20 hours.
It actually starts with the part where Lex staggers back to the ship.
Yes.
And it's
And it
it's
works
just Lex
backwards.
recounting.
Yes.
To
just
someone.
counting.
As they're trying to get to sleep.
Yes.
They just keep on thinking back over every single little thing.
You know what? For funsies, she's doing it to Drake.
She's doing it to Drake.
Explaining all of the
Every
this
little
muscle's
thing.
sore because of
Because
this.
of this, and then this other girl showed up.
Yes.
Her name was this. This is what she was wearing. Like,
And this is what she wasn't wearing.
this is what she wasn't wearing.
Did you know a person can bend in this way?
Do you see this bruise? Do you know how hard they hit me to make this bruise?
He doesn't get any dialogue. It says that he's reacting, but he doesn't actually. We don't hear what he says. It's all about. It's all about.
It's
Lex.
silent.
At the very end, it's just the entire time. Drake was just staring at the ceiling,
Yes.
wondering when will Lex shut up.
Just kidding.
What did he
I
do to
don't
deserve
mean
this? Don't
I
answer that
don't mean
question.
this.
What did I
Cassie.
do to deserve this? And
Yeah.
Where can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
I don't exist on social media. I have usernames, and you can find me, and maybe someday I'll post something at Lady Vamp, Twitter, Facebook, or not Facebook, Instagram, Hive, TikTok, all of that jazz. You can see backlog stuff. I am also with ADH Adventures. I play on Tuesday, playing the Very Sad, but we're trying to keep our shit together, Cleric. And I'm also going to be on Gen Con. I am not a DM, so I won't be doing that. But I'm going to be playing with an all-girl D&D party. That is the name of our show. You can come
Hell
check us
yeah.
out. We're great. It's awesome. Women play games too, guys.
Absolutely.
Obviously.
Obviously.
I refuse.
What?
When
Women?
did that happen?
What are those?
It's great. We're going back to the Radiant Citadel. We had a whole horde of ladies go through the Radiant Citadel, and we're going back.
That was
I'm
so
so
much fun.
pumped.
That was so much fun.
Yep. I can't wait.
I
to
will be
great.
joining next year. Blonde pre-invited me, so
I'm
I'll get
so
to show up for
jacked.
part 3.
Well, the big thing for me
I'm
is
so
this year
jacked.
is the first year that we're going to be going as just tourists. We're just going to go catch all the shows. We're going to do some networking, catch all the shows, go shopping. We're going to come in there. We're just going to have a nice Gen Con weekend, because I figure after this, we're never going to be able to do that again.
Yep.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
this
Very
is our
fair.
year to take the year off, and we have tickets to every single ADH Adventures event, and we've already got those locked in. Liz, where can people find you on the mighty interwebs?
You can find me at various iterations of @MissList or @MissList2, depending on what was available and my mood that particular day. You can obviously find me here on Wednesdays, and then, of course, on every other Saturday morning over on the Starfield for our Vampire the Masquerade game. And we're definitely not about to get attacked by werewolves and maybe die and have to build new characters. This is fine.
How did you piss off werewolves? Other than
We didn't
existing?
even do anything.
Technically, I
fair.
said the word werewolf.
Yeah,
But
they heard you.
We forgot to vibe check the other people in the cafe.
Fair.
And
That's
that
very
was my
fair.
mistake.
Oh no.
I'm supposed to be the smart one.
Yeah, I'm not helping with that shit. No.
I mean, It's always
But
when
I-
you do the insight.
But it's the thing is, she's also built as too smart for her own good. So I feel like she would have forgotten to vibe check because she's like
Oh my
kind of
God,
in home
what if-
territory.
What if we were both supernatural creatures and it was Pride Month and we kissed instead of getting mauled to death?
You can bring that up to Em.
I'm
See how that
trying.
I was gonna
I'm
say-
trying,
I was
man.
gonna say, oh well, you know what? You can kiss while getting mauled to death. It's
It
even
was-
more
I
tragic.
mean, that's true. Yeah.
All
It's
right.
fine.
Beautiful.
We
Full
just
Edgar-
have to get to the car.
We'll go full Edgar Allan
Why do
Poe
you think
romance.
Hopefully
the car
someone
is gonna
has a
save
lie.
you from werewolves?
Go Mary Shelley.
Because it,
Full Mary
100%.
show.
because someone can drive it fast. I only have a dot and drive. I should probably not be the one doing a high speed chase.
I can drive it.
That's
I'm
right.
a
You can drive.
mechanic.
You're getting the keys. You're getting the keys to the Audi.
So what I hear is
I'm
that
just saying-
we need like a nitro car
How does
so
the
that we
car
can fuck
drive
off.
when the werewolf lifts it off the ground?
Well, how is the werewolf picking it up? And is it a front wheel,
It
rear wheel,
doesn't
or all
matter.
wheel?
It's a
It's-
werewolf. Their
it's a
fingers can
werewolf.
punch into the metal, so it doesn't matter how they pick it up, but it's going to come up off the ground.
We're gonna be fine,
Yeah.
guys. We're gonna be
I'm just
fine.
saying,
fine.
maybe
Yeah.
werewolf grabs the bumper and the bumper
Yeah.
pops off. Whoops.
That's a good one. That could happen. That can happen. Werewolves are not exactly in their best state of mind when they're in that form, so
Yeah.
Well, and cars aren't really designed to be pulled apart. They're designed to be smushed.
they're designed to kind of fall apart. in a
Yeah,
safe
they're
way.
designed. Yeah, you can pull them apart, but only certain, or they take impacts, not pulleys.
Yep. Well, we'll see what M does to you.
I
But it's M, so yeah, you're probably up the creek. And for Dinner and a Game, you can find all of our information at our link tree, which is in chat, along with the links to everyone else's social medias. Remember, everyone here are creators in their own right in some way, shape, or form or another. Please go give them a follow. It's the biggest serotonin boost a creator can get, to know that someone valued their work and their contribution enough to just hit that simple follow button. Remember, here at Dinner and a Game, we're trying to do a drive to get more subscribers. Thank you so much to Admiral for donating those 10 subs. I will donate an 11th sub to substitute for Dagbot getting a sub. I have no idea. I did not think that a bot could get a sub. And Dagbot is bad and has been sent to their room. So we will make sure that Dagbot does not get to access because they stopped Admiral from cussing or using all caps. So I replaced Dagbot with something else, and so Dagbot should not have a sub and should not be allowed to use that sub. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and see what we can do to find someone else to go share this joy with. Remember, at Dinner Game, we always save you a seat at the table. Be sure you tune in every single week so you don't miss any of our content. We are live on Tuesdays with Emerald Sanctums. We're live on Wednesdays here with Kingdoms of Mist. Every other Friday, we're doing Best Days, which is our Tales from the Loop Chronicle that is still trying to get current and off the ground because we've had scheduling nightmares up the wazoo and they're mostly my fault. But that seems to be getting better now, so we're going to try and get that rolling. And then every other Friday, you can catch me over on Dice Cream Sandwiches, where I'm playing an Ivy Shadows Pure Havoc D&D 5e, a Suicide Squad themed game, where I play a wizard, a pyromancer wizard who is literally patterned after the Joker. So he's not a nice person, but he's also very weird. So, but if you want to catch any of that, you can catch all those links in our link tree. Remember, do your best to stay safe, social distance where you can, wear a mask when you can. We want you to come back every single time and join us for our content and enjoy everything that you can. And to do that, you need to be safe and you need to be healthy. So do what you can to protect yourself, as we will do our best to guide you to the best content we can after we jump off of here, which means we're probably going to go over and raid Dork Tales. Wait a minute. Dork Tales or Blackwater D&D? Anyone got a preference?
Dork Tales?
We haven't done Dork Tales in a
We haven't
while.
done Dork Tales in a while. Let's do Dork Tales. We're gonna
Yeah.
rate Dork Tales.
Woo.
Dork Tales are content creators just like us. I think they're playing D&D tonight. Let me see. Yeah, they're playing D&D right now. When we get there, make sure you let them know Dinner and a Game sent you. Make sure you give them a follow if you have not. They're amazing content creators themselves, and do everything you can to support content creators so they will keep on making content that you can enjoy. In the meantime, we love you all very much. We will see you next time. I'm going to roll out to the stream ending screen so I can go ahead and do the actual raid better than I normally do. So we will see you guys later. Thank you so much, and we love you, and good night.